Welcome to our exploration of the profound question: can science and religion coexist? Throughout history, this debate has sparked countless discussions, influencing the thoughts and beliefs of many generations. Today, we delve into this fascinating topic to uncover the complexities and possibilities of harmony between science and religion. Science, with its reliance on empirical evidence and systematic study of the natural world, seeks to explain the universe through observation, experimentation, and reasoning. Religion, on the other hand, often relies on spiritual experiences, faith and divine revelation to understand the meaning and purpose of life. These seemingly contrasting approaches have led to a long-standing debate about their compatibility. Historically, there have been periods of both conflict and collaboration between science and religion. Ancient civilizations often intertwined religious beliefs with their understanding of the natural world. However, during the Middle Ages, tensions grew as scientific discoveries began to challenge religious doctrines. This tension reached a peak during the Enlightenment, when reason and empirical evidence became the cornerstones of scientific inquiry. Despite these historical conflicts, there have always been individuals and movements that sought to reconcile science and religion. Prominent figures like Galileo, who faced opposition from the Church, still maintained their faith while pursuing scientific truths. This dual commitment to science and religion showcases the potential for coexistence. Philosophically, the debate centers on the nature of knowledge and belief. Science is grounded in rationalism and skepticism, demanding evidence and repeatability. Religion often emphasizes faith and spiritual understanding, which may not be empirically verifiable. These differing epistemologies raise questions about whether they can ever fully align. Key theories and concepts further illuminate this debate. The Big Bang Theory, for instance, aligns with certain religious narratives about the creation of the universe. Evolution and creationism, however, present more contentious points of view. The discussion of miracles versus natural laws and the existence of consciousness and the soul add layers of complexity to the dialogue. Exploring case studies can provide valuable insights into how individuals have navigated the relationship between science and religion. Figures like Charles Darwin, who developed the theory of evolution, faced significant religious backlash. Conversely, Albert Einstein expressed a sense of wonder about the universe that he felt was akin to a spiritual experience, showing that scientific inquiry can coexist with a sense of the divine. Education plays a crucial role in shaping our understanding of science and religion. Public school curricula, religious schools, and universities each approach this topic differently. How textbooks present scientific theories and religious beliefs can significantly influence students' perceptions and foster either harmony or division between these fields. Interdisciplinary approaches offer promising avenues for bridging the gap between science and religion. Dialogues between theologians and scientists, the philosophy of science, and the study of the psychology of belief all contribute to a more nuanced understanding. Ethical considerations also play a role, as both fields grapple with moral questions in their respective domains. Modern scientific discoveries continue to challenge and expand our understanding of the universe, prompting ongoing dialogue with religious perspectives. Advances in cosmology, genetics, neuroscience, quantum physics, and environmental science all present opportunities for new interpretations and integrative approaches. Ancient civilizations provide a rich tapestry of how science and religion were once deeply intertwined. These early societies often saw no distinction between the two, integrating their spiritual beliefs with their understanding of the natural world. In places like Mesopotamia, the movements of celestial bodies were both scientific observations and religious events. The ancient Egyptians are a prime example. Their advanced knowledge of medicine, astronomy, and engineering coexisted seamlessly with a polytheistic belief system. The construction of the pyramids, a feat of remarkable engineering, was also an act of religious devotion. They believed the pharaohs would ascend to the afterlife, aligning their monumental structures with the stars to reflect this journey. In ancient Greece, philosophers like Pythagoras and Plato explored the connections between mathematics, the cosmos, and divine principles. Pythagoras, for instance, viewed numbers as having mystical significance, blending numerical studies with spiritual teachings. Plato's philosophy also integrated metaphysical concepts with logical reasoning, showing an early attempt to bridge science and religion. Hinduism, one of the world's oldest religions, presents another fascinating case. Ancient Hindu texts, such as the Vedas, contain extensive discussions on cosmology, medicine, and mathematics. These texts illustrate how scientific inquiry was embedded within a spiritual framework, with the belief that understanding the universe was a path to understanding the divine. The Chinese civilization, with its Taoist and Confucian traditions, also exemplified a blend of science and spirituality. Ancient Chinese scholars made significant advances in medicine, astronomy, and alchemy, viewing these pursuits as harmonious with their spiritual practices. The concept of yin and yang, for instance, reflects a balance that is both a scientific principle and a spiritual philosophy. In Mesoamerica, the Maya civilization developed sophisticated knowledge of astronomy and mathematics, closely linked to their religious beliefs. The Mayan calendar, a marvel of mathematical precision, was deeply connected to their rituals and prophecies. This integration shows how scientific achievements were often driven by spiritual motivations. The ancient Persians, particularly during the Zoroastrian era, demonstrated another form of this synthesis. Their religious texts, the Avesta, included cosmological and astronomical knowledge. Zoroastrianism's emphasis on the cosmic struggle between good and evil was reflected in their understanding of natural phenomena, blending ethical and scientific perspectives. In the Islamic Golden Age, scholars in the Middle East made groundbreaking contributions to science, inspired by religious teachings. Figures like Al-Khwarizmi and Avicenna advanced mathematics, medicine, and astronomy, viewing their work as a way to better understand God's creation. This period highlights a time when science and religion not only coexisted, but thrived together. The role of indigenous cultures worldwide also underscores the interconnectedness of science and spirituality. Many indigenous belief systems are rooted in a deep reverence for nature, which translates into a profound understanding of ecological systems. Their scientific knowledge, passed down through generations, is often inseparable from their spiritual practices. In ancient Babylon, astrology and astronomy were virtually indistinguishable. The Babylonians meticulously recorded celestial events, not just for agricultural purposes but also for divination. Their ziggurats served as both religious temples and observatories, blending spiritual aspirations with scientific observation. The Druids of ancient Celtic cultures also exemplified this integration. Known for their profound knowledge of natural sciences, the Druids' religious practices were closely tied to their understanding of the environment. They conducted rituals aligned with astronomical events, demonstrating a harmonious relationship between their spiritual and scientific endeavors. Ancient Japan's Shinto beliefs emphasize a deep connection with nature, which is reflected in their early scientific practices. The kami, or spirits believed to inhabit natural objects and phenomena, inspired meticulous observation and respect for the natural world. This spiritual perspective fostered a keen understanding of environmental and agricultural sciences. In the Andes, the Inca civilization achieved remarkable engineering feats like terrace farming and aqueducts, guided by their religious worldview. The Incas worshipped nature gods and saw their scientific advancements as gifts from these deities. This perspective helped them develop sustainable practices that supported their large population. The role of myth and storytelling in ancient civilizations also served to integrate science and religion. Myths often explained natural phenomena and were used to pass down knowledge about the environment, health, and astronomy. These stories were both educational and spiritual, reinforcing the idea that science and religion were not separate domains. Ancient India's contributions to mathematics and astronomy were deeply linked to their religious texts. Concepts like zero and the decimal system emerged from this context, demonstrating how religious and scientific thought can complement each other. The pursuit of knowledge in ancient India was often seen as a spiritual journey, with scholars seeking to understand the universe as a manifestation of the divine. The Middle Ages marked a complex period for the relationship between science and religion. During this time, the Christian Church held significant influence over intellectual life in Europe. Monasteries became centers of learning, preserving ancient texts and fostering scholarly activities. In medieval Europe, the Church viewed scientific inquiry as a way to understand God's creation. Scholars like Thomas Aquinas sought to reconcile Aristotelian philosophy with Christian theology. Aquinas' work laid the groundwork for a synthesis of faith and reason, showing that scientific exploration could coexist with religious belief. Medieval Islamic civilization, particularly during the Abbasid Caliphate, experienced a golden age of scientific advancement. Scholars translated and built upon the works of ancient Greek and Roman scientists. Figures such as Alhazen and Al-Razi made significant contributions to optics, medicine, and chemistry, driven by a belief in the harmony between faith and reason. The House of Wisdom in Baghdad epitomized this era's spirit of inquiry. It was an intellectual hub where scholars of various faiths collaborated. This cross-cultural exchange led to innovations in mathematics, astronomy, and medicine, highlighting a period when science and religion flourished together. In Europe, the scholastic movement aimed to reconcile reason with faith. Universities like those in Paris and Oxford became centers of learning, where theology and natural philosophy were studied side by side. This educational structure underscored the belief that understanding the natural world could enhance one's faith. Medieval Jewish scholars also played a crucial role in this intellectual milieu. Figures like Maimonides sought to harmonize Jewish theology with Aristotelian philosophy. His works influenced both Islamic and Christian thinkers, demonstrating the interconnectedness of scientific and religious thought across cultures. Alchemy, a precursor to modern chemistry, thrived during the Middle Ages. Practitioners sought to transform base metals into gold and discover the elixir of life. While alchemy was rooted in spiritual and mystical beliefs, it also laid the foundation for experimental science. The medieval period also saw advancements in technology, often driven by religious needs. The construction of cathedrals required sophisticated engineering techniques. These grand structures were not only places of worship, but also monuments to human ingenuity and devotion. The Byzantine Empire preserved and transmitted ancient Greek knowledge. Byzantine scholars maintained and expanded upon classical scientific works, blending them with Christian thought. This preservation was crucial for the later revival of learning during the Renaissance. Medieval monasteries were more than religious institutions. They were centers of agricultural and medical knowledge. Monks cultivated medicinal herbs and recorded their properties, contributing to the field of herbal medicine. Their work illustrates how religious life and scientific practice were intertwined. The medieval worldview saw the cosmos as a reflection of divine order. The Ptolemaic system, which placed the Earth at the center of the universe, was widely accepted and endorsed by the Church. This geocentric model was seen as compatible with religious teachings about humanity's special place in creation. Natural philosophy, the precursor to modern science, was deeply influenced by religious thought. Medieval scholars believed that studying nature was a way to understand God's design. This belief motivated their explorations and discoveries, showing that scientific inquiry was often a form of religious devotion. The medieval period also witnessed the beginnings of empirical observation. Roger Bacon, an English Franciscan friar, emphasized the importance of experimentation. He believed that empirical methods could reveal the workings of God's creation, advocating for a more scientific approach to understanding the natural world. In medieval Islamic culture, the study of astronomy was both a scientific and religious pursuit. Accurate astronomical knowledge was essential for determining prayer times and the direction of Mecca. This practical need drove significant advancements in the field, blending scientific inquiry with religious practice. Medieval literature often reflected the era's integrated view of science and religion. Works like Dante's Divine Comedy combined theological insights with observations of the natural world. These texts illustrate how medieval thinkers saw no clear boundary between spiritual and scientific knowledge. The Enlightenment period marked a significant shift in the relationship between science and religion. This era, often referred to as the Age of Reason, emphasized the power of human intellect and empirical evidence. Thinkers began to challenge traditional religious authorities, advocating for reason and scientific inquiry as the primary means of understanding the world. Philosophers like John Locke argued that knowledge should be based on empirical observation and rational analysis. Locke's ideas on natural rights and the separation of church and state influenced political thought, promoting a more secular approach to governance. His emphasis on reason laid the groundwork for a new understanding of the relationship between science and religion. Isaac Newton's groundbreaking work in physics and mathematics exemplified the Enlightenment spirit. Newton saw no conflict between his scientific discoveries and his faith. He believed that uncovering the laws of nature was a way to understand God's creation. His work showed that science and religion could coexist, each contributing to a deeper understanding of the universe. Voltaire, a prominent Enlightenment thinker, was a vocal critic of organized religion. He championed freedom of thought and expression, arguing that religious dogma should not hinder scientific progress. Voltaire's writings highlighted the tensions between established religious institutions and the emerging scientific worldview. The Enlightenment also saw the rise of deism, a belief system that accepted the existence of a creator but rejected organized religion and supernatural events. Deists believed that reason and observation of the natural world were sufficient to understand the universe. This perspective allowed for a harmonious relationship between science and a more abstract form of religious belief. Denis Diderot, editor of the Encyclopédie, sought to compile and disseminate human knowledge. This monumental work included contributions from various fields, including science and philosophy, reflecting the Enlightenment's commitment to knowledge and intellectual freedom. Diderot's efforts helped spread Enlightenment ideas, emphasizing the importance of reason and empirical evidence. The development of the scientific method during the Enlightenment formalized the process of inquiry. This method, characterized by observation, experimentation, and hypothesis testing, became the cornerstone of scientific investigation. It provided a systematic approach to understanding the natural world, distinct from but not necessarily opposed to religious explanations. David Hume, a philosopher known for his skepticism, questioned the basis of religious belief. Hume argued that human reason was limited and that many religious claims could not be empirically verified. His work challenged traditional religious views and encouraged a more critical approach to both science and religion. Immanuel Kant, another key figure of the Enlightenment, sought to bridge the gap between science and religion. In his critique of pure reason, Kant argued that while human knowledge is limited to the realm of experience, there is still room for faith in areas beyond empirical investigation. Kant's philosophy attempted to reconcile rational inquiry with religious belief. The Enlightenment period also witnessed advancements in biology and medicine. Scientists like Carl Linnaeus and Antoine Lavoisier made significant contributions to taxonomy and chemistry. These advancements, grounded in empirical research, demonstrated the power of the scientific method to uncover the mysteries of life and matter. Mary Wollstonecraft, an advocate for women's rights, applied Enlightenment principles to social issues. She argued for the education and empowerment of women, emphasizing the importance of reason and equality. Wollstonecraft's work extended the Enlightenment's call for rational inquiry to the realm of social justice. The Enlightenment's impact on education was profound. Universities and academies across Europe began to prioritize scientific study and critical thinking. This shift in educational focus helped spread Enlightenment ideas and fostered a new generation of thinkers who valued reason and empirical evidence. Enlightenment thinkers often debated the origins and structure of the universe. These debates were informed by new scientific discoveries, such as those in astronomy by Galileo and Kepler. The expanding knowledge of the cosmos prompted re-evaluations of humanity's place in the universe, challenging traditional religious cosmologies. The period also saw the development of political philosophies that separated church and state. Thinkers like Montesquieu and Rousseau advocated for political systems based on reason and equality, rather than religious authority. Their ideas influenced the formation of modern democratic governments and underscored the Enlightenment's emphasis on rational governance. The Enlightenment laid the foundation for modern secularism, promoting a worldview that valued science and reason while allowing for personal religious belief. This period of intellectual flourishing set the stage for subsequent developments in both science and philosophy, establishing a framework in which science and religion could coexist in a more balanced and respectful manner. The modern era has seen unprecedented advancements in science and technology, significantly impacting the relationship between science and religion. With the rise of new scientific theories and discoveries, this relationship has become increasingly complex and multifaceted. Albert Einstein, one of the most influential scientists of the 20th century, often spoke about the harmony between science and religion. He saw science as a way to understand the laws of nature, which he believed were a reflection of a higher order. Einstein's views illustrate how scientific inquiry can coexist with a sense of spiritual wonder. The theory of evolution proposed by Charles Darwin sparked significant debate and controversy. While some religious groups rejected evolution as incompatible with their beliefs, others found ways to reconcile it with their faith. This ongoing dialogue highlights the diverse perspectives within religious communities regarding scientific theories. In the 20th century, the Big Bang theory revolutionized our understanding of the universe's origins. Some religious thinkers embraced this scientific explanation, seeing it as compatible with the idea of a divine creation. This theory provided a common ground where science and religion could engage in meaningful discussions about the nature of the universe. Modern neuroscience has explored the connections between the brain and spiritual experiences. Researchers study how religious beliefs and practices affect brain activity, offering insights into the biological basis of spirituality. These studies demonstrate that scientific methods can investigate and illuminate aspects of religious experience. The environmental movement has also seen a convergence of science and religion. Many religious groups have become active in promoting environmental stewardship, drawing on their spiritual teachings about the sanctity of the natural world. This collaboration underscores the potential for science and religion to work together on global challenges. And interfaith dialogues have become more prominent in the modern era, fostering mutual understanding between different religious traditions and scientific perspectives. These dialogues aim to find common ground and address ethical questions raised by scientific advancements. They highlight the potential for collaborative efforts in addressing complex issues. The relationship between science and religion is also evident in contemporary bioethics. Issues such as genetic engineering, cloning, and end-of-life care raise profound ethical questions. Religious and scientific communities often engage in dialogue to navigate these challenges, seeking ethical frameworks that respect both scientific knowledge and religious values. Technological advancements, particularly in artificial intelligence and robotics, pose new questions about the nature of consciousness and the human soul. These developments challenge traditional religious concepts, prompting new theological reflections and discussions about the implications of emerging technologies. Modern education systems often include both scientific and religious studies, encouraging students to explore these fields' intersections. This approach fosters a more integrated understanding of knowledge, emphasizing that science and religion can inform and enrich each other. It also prepares students to engage with diverse perspectives in a rapidly changing world. Public perception of the relationship between science and religion varies widely. Surveys and polls show a range of views, from seeing them as complementary to viewing them as fundamentally opposed. This diversity reflects the complex and evolving nature of the dialogue between science and religion in contemporary society. Scientific institutions and religious organizations sometimes collaborate on humanitarian projects. These partnerships leverage scientific expertise and religious motivation to address issues like poverty, health, and disaster relief. Such collaborations demonstrate practical ways science and religion can work together for the common good. The rise of secularism in many parts of the world has influenced the discourse on science and religion. While some see secularism as a threat to religious values, others view it as an opportunity for science and religion to coexist in a pluralistic society. This shift has prompted ongoing debates about the role of religion in public life. Popular culture often reflects and shapes the public's understanding of science and religion. Movies, books, and media portrayals influence how people perceive the relationship between these fields. These cultural narratives can either reinforce stereotypes or promote a more nuanced understanding of the dialogue between science and religion. In the modern era, the relationship between science and religion continues to evolve. As new discoveries and technologies emerge, the dialogue between these fields will likely expand and deepen. The potential for coexistence remains strong, with ongoing efforts to find harmony and mutual respect between scientific inquiry and religious belief. Galileo Galilei, often called the father of modern observational astronomy, challenged the geocentric model endorsed by the Church. His support for the heliocentric theory, based on his telescopic observations, led to a famous conflict with religious authorities. Despite this, Galileo maintained his faith, believing that science and religion could coexist. Isaac Newton, whose laws of motion and universal gravitation revolutionized science, saw his work as revealing the divine order of the universe. Newton believed that understanding the natural world was a way to appreciate God's creation. His faith in a rational, orderly universe guided his scientific endeavors. Charles Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection profoundly impacted both science and religion. His observations on the HMS Beagle led to a new understanding of species development. While his ideas were controversial, Darwin himself grappled with religious implications, striving to reconcile his scientific findings with his personal beliefs. Albert Einstein, known for his theory of relativity, often spoke about the relationship between science and religion. He saw a profound sense of order in the universe, which he described as a cosmic religious feeling. Einstein believed that scientific exploration could lead to a deeper appreciation of the mysteries of existence. Gregor Mendel, an Augustinian monk, laid the foundation for modern genetics through his experiments with pea plants. Mendel's work demonstrated the principles of inheritance, blending his religious vocation with a rigorous scientific approach. His discoveries showed that faith and science could inform and enhance each other. Thomas Aquinas, a medieval philosopher and theologian, worked to reconcile Christian doctrine with Aristotelian philosophy. His writings, particularly the Summa Theologica, argued that reason and faith are not in conflict, but complement each other. Aquinas' synthesis of theology and philosophy influenced the intellectual landscape of his time and beyond. Blaise Pascal, a mathematician and philosopher, contributed to the fields of probability and fluid mechanics, while also engaging deeply with religious thought. His work, Pensées, reflects his attempt to reconcile his scientific knowledge with his faith, illustrating the potential for dialogue between these realms. Roger Bacon, a Franciscan friar, emphasized the importance of empirical methods and experimentation in understanding the natural world. Known as one of the earliest advocates of the scientific method, Bacon saw no contradiction between his religious beliefs and his pursuit of scientific knowledge. Maimonides, a Jewish philosopher and physician, sought to harmonize Jewish theology with Aristotelian philosophy. His works, particularly the Guide for the Perplexed, aimed to show that reason and faith could coexist. Maimonides' efforts influenced both Islamic and Christian scholars, demonstrating the cross-cultural impact of his ideas. Al-Hasan, an Islamic scholar, made significant contributions to optics and scientific methodology. His Book of Optics laid the groundwork for the modern scientific method. Al-Hasan's work illustrates how Islamic scholarship during the Golden Age contributed to the global scientific tradition, while being deeply rooted in a religious context. Johannes Kepler, known for his laws of planetary motion, viewed his astronomical work as uncovering the geometric harmony created by God. Kepler's faith inspired his scientific inquiries, showing that his religious beliefs and scientific pursuits were deeply intertwined. Max Planck, the father of quantum theory, saw no conflict between science and religion. Planck believed that scientific discovery and religious belief both seek truth, though through different means. His perspective highlights how leading scientists can hold profound religious convictions while advancing scientific knowledge. Marie Curie, a pioneer in radioactivity research, maintained a deep respect for the mysteries of the natural world. Though not overtly religious, her sense of awe and dedication to scientific inquiry reflect a spiritual dimension to her work. Curie's contributions to science were driven by a profound curiosity about the universe. Francis Collins, a geneticist and director of the National Institutes of Health, is an outspoken advocate for the harmony between science and faith. Collins led the Human Genome Project and has written extensively about his Christian faith, arguing that scientific discovery enriches his understanding of God. Georges Lemaitre, a Belgian priest and astrophysicist, proposed the Big Bang theory, describing the origin of the universe. Lemaitre saw no conflict between his scientific work and his religious beliefs, viewing his discoveries as revealing the moment of creation described in religious texts. His contributions exemplify the potential for harmony between scientific and religious worldviews. The epistemology of science is the study of how scientific knowledge is generated, validated, and understood. It focuses on the methods and principles used to investigate the natural world. This field examines the nature of scientific evidence and the standards for what constitutes reliable knowledge. Central to the epistemology of science is the concept of empirical evidence. Empirical evidence is data collected through observation and experimentation. Scientists rely on this evidence to support or refute hypotheses, ensuring that conclusions are grounded in observable reality. Scientific knowledge is inherently provisional. This means that scientific theories are always open to revision based on new evidence. This flexibility is a strength of the scientific method, allowing science to adapt and improve as new information becomes available. The scientific method is a systematic process used to investigate phenomena. It involves making observations, forming hypotheses, conducting experiments, and analyzing results. This method ensures that scientific inquiry is rigorous, transparent, and replicable. Falsifiability is a key criterion for scientific theories. A theory must be testable and capable of being proven false. This principle, introduced by philosopher Karl Popper, ensures that scientific theories are not based on unfalsifiable claims, but on evidence that can be objectively assessed. Peer review is an essential component of the scientific process. Before research is published, it is evaluated by other experts in the field. This scrutiny helps to ensure the accuracy, validity, and reliability of scientific findings, maintaining the integrity of scientific literature. The reproducibility of results is a cornerstone of scientific knowledge. Experiments must be designed so that other researchers can replicate the results under the same conditions. Reproducibility confirms the reliability of findings and builds confidence in scientific conclusions. The role of theory in science is to provide a framework for understanding and predicting phenomena. Theories are not mere guesses, but well-substantiated explanations based on a body of evidence. They guide research by offering testable predictions and unifying disparate observations. Paradigm shifts occur when a prevailing scientific theory is replaced by a new one that better explains the evidence. Thomas Kuhn described this process in his work on the structure of scientific revolutions. Paradigm shifts illustrate how scientific knowledge evolves over time, driven by new discoveries. Objectivity is a fundamental goal in scientific inquiry. Scientists strive to minimize personal biases and subjectivity in their research. This objectivity is achieved through standardized methods, peer review, and transparent reporting of methods and results. Quantitative methods are commonly used in scientific research to measure and analyze variables numerically. These methods provide precise, objective data that can be statistically analyzed. Quantitative data enhances the rigor and clarity of scientific studies. Qualitative methods, while less common in the natural sciences, are important for exploring complex phenomena that are not easily quantified. These methods involve detailed observations, interviews, and case studies. They provide rich, contextual insights into scientific questions. The demarcation problem addresses the question of what distinguishes science from non-science. This philosophical issue explores the criteria that separate scientific inquiry from pseudoscience, metaphysics, and other forms of knowledge. It is central to defining the scope and limits of scientific epistemology. Instrumentalism is a philosophical perspective that views scientific theories as tools for predicting and controlling phenomena, rather than as definitive explanations of reality. This view emphasizes the practical applications of science while acknowledging the provisional nature of scientific knowledge. The epistemology of science also considers the ethical implications of scientific research. Scientists must navigate issues such as research integrity, the responsible use of data, and the broader impacts of their work on society. These ethical considerations are integral to the responsible conduct of science. The epistemology of religion explores how religious knowledge is acquired, justified, and understood. It examines the sources and nature of religious beings to understand what it means to know something in a religious context. This field addresses the ways in which faith, revelation, and religious experience contribute to knowledge. Faith is a central concept in the epistemology of religion. Faith involves trust and commitment to religious beliefs, often in the absence of empirical evidence. It is considered a way of knowing that transcends the need for scientific verification, rooted in spiritual conviction and personal experience. Revelation is another key source of religious knowledge. Many religious traditions hold that divine truths are revealed through sacred texts, prophets, or mystical experiences. Revelation provides a foundation for religious beliefs that are considered authoritative and beyond human reasoning. Religious experience encompasses a wide range of personal and communal encounters with the divine. These experiences can include mystical visions, prayer, and worship. Such experiences are often cited as direct evidence of the divine, providing individuals with a sense of certainty about their beliefs. The role of tradition is significant in the epistemology of religion. Religious traditions preserve and transmit sacred knowledge across generations. This knowledge is embedded in rituals, scriptures, and teachings that shape the beliefs and practices of religious communities. Scriptural authority is a cornerstone of many religious epistemologies. Sacred texts are considered divinely inspired and serve as primary sources of religious knowledge. The interpretation of these texts is often guided by theological principles and scholarly exegesis. The concept of reason in religion varies across different traditions. Some religious thinkers argue that faith and reason are complementary, while others see them as distinct or even opposed. Reason can play a role in interpreting religious doctrines and addressing theological questions. Testimony is a vital aspect of religious epistemology. Believers often rely on the testimony of religious leaders, saints, and other authorities to support their faith. This reliance on testimony underscores the communal nature of religious knowledge, where trust in others' experiences and insights is essential. The problem of religious pluralism poses a challenge for religious epistemology. With diverse and sometimes conflicting religious beliefs, the question arises of how to determine which, if any, religious claims are true. This issue invites reflection on the criteria for evaluating religious knowledge. Fideism is a perspective that emphasizes faith as the basis for religious knowledge, often rejecting the need for rational justification. Fideists argue that faith is a unique way of knowing that cannot be subjected to the standards of empirical science or logical reasoning. The concept of epistemic humility is important in religious epistemology. It involves recognizing the limits of human understanding and the potential for error in religious beliefs. Epistemic humility encourages an open-minded and reflective approach to faith. Pragmatic approaches to religious knowledge focus on the practical consequences of religious beliefs. These approaches evaluate the truth of religious claims based on their ability to positively influence individuals' lives and communities. Pragmatism emphasizes the lived experience of faith. Mysticism represents a direct and personal form of religious knowledge. Mystics seek a union with the divine that transcends ordinary experience. Their accounts of these encounters provide insights into the nature of religious knowledge that are deeply subjective and experiential. Natural theology attempts to use reason and observation of the natural world to infer the existence and attributes of God. This approach seeks to provide rational arguments for religious beliefs, bridging the gap between faith and reason. Natural theology engages with philosophical and scientific insights. Religious epistemology also considers the role of doubt and questioning in faith. Doubt is seen not as a weakness, but as a part of the dynamic process of religious understanding. Engaging with doubt can lead to a deeper and more mature faith, fostering a thoughtful and reflective religious life. Rationalism and faith represent two distinct approaches to understanding the world. Rationalism emphasizes reason and evidence as the primary sources of knowledge, while faith relies on spiritual conviction and trust in divine revelation. These differing perspectives have led to both conflict and dialogue throughout history. Rationalism seeks to explain phenomena through logic, analysis, and empirical data. It values skepticism and critical thinking, promoting the idea that knowledge should be based on evidence that can be observed and tested. Rationalists argue that this approach leads to more reliable and objective understanding. Faith, on the other hand, is often grounded in personal belief and spiritual experience. It involves trust in truths that may not be empirically verifiable, but are deeply meaningful to individuals and communities. Faith provides a sense of purpose, hope, and connection to something greater than oneself. Throughout history, there have been prominent advocates for both rationalism and faith. Philosophers like Descartes and Spinoza championed rationalist approaches, seeking to build systems of knowledge based on clear and distinct ideas. Religious figures like Augustine and Aquinas integrated faith with reason, arguing that belief in God is rationally justifiable. The Enlightenment period intensified the debate between rationalism and faith. Enlightenment thinkers like Voltaire and Hume criticized religious dogma and advocated for a worldview based on reason and empirical evidence. This period marked a significant shift towards secularism and scientific inquiry. Despite the tension, there have been many attempts to reconcile rationalism and faith. Some theologians and philosophers argue that reason and faith are not mutually exclusive, but can complement each other. They suggest that reason can help clarify and interpret faith, while faith can provide insights into areas beyond the reach of reason. One area of reconciliation is the concept of natural theology. Natural theology uses rational arguments and evidence from the natural world to support religious beliefs. Proponents argue that studying the universe through a rational lens can lead to a greater understanding of the divine. Critics of rationalism argue that it fails to address the full range of human experience. They suggest that rationalism overlooks the importance of emotions, intuition, and spiritual experiences that are central to many people's lives. Faith, they argue, provides a more holistic approach to understanding existence. Conversely, critics of faith argue that it can lead to dogmatism and resistance to new ideas. They caution that relying on faith alone can result in beliefs that are not subject to critical scrutiny, potentially hindering intellectual progress and leading to conflict. The relationship between rationalism and faith also plays out in ethical discussions. Rationalist approaches to ethics emphasize universal principles and logical consistency, while faith-based approaches may draw on religious teachings and divine commandments. These differing foundations can lead to distinct perspectives on moral issues. In the modern era, the dialogue between rationalism and faith continues in various fields, including science, philosophy, and theology. Interfaith and interdisciplinary dialogues seek to find common ground and mutual respect, recognizing the value that both perspectives bring to the quest for knowledge. Educational systems often reflect the tension and potential harmony between rationalism and faith. Schools and universities may offer courses that explore both scientific and religious perspectives, encouraging students to think critically and reflectively about their beliefs and values. In personal lives, individuals navigate the balance between rationalism and faith in diverse ways. Some find that their faith is strengthened by rational inquiry, while others maintain a clear distinction between their spiritual beliefs and their reliance on reason in other areas of life. Art and literature frequently explore the themes of rationalism and faith. Works by authors like Dostoevsky, Tolstoy, and Camus delve into the complexities of belief, doubt, and the search for meaning, offering rich insights into the human condition. Ultimately, the interplay between rationalism and faith shapes our understanding of the world and our place within it. By engaging with both perspectives, we can develop a more nuanced and comprehensive view of reality, appreciating the strengths and limitations of each approach. This ongoing dialogue enriches our intellectual and spiritual lives, fostering a deeper sense of wonder and curiosity about the universe. Metaphysical assumptions form the foundational beliefs about the nature of reality that underpin both scientific and religious worldviews. These assumptions address questions about existence, the nature of objects and their properties, causality, and the nature of time and space. In science, metaphysical assumptions include the belief in an objective reality that exists independently of our perceptions. Scientists assume that the universe is governed by consistent and discoverable laws that can be understood through observation and experimentation. This assumption underlies the scientific method and the pursuit of empirical knowledge. Religion often incorporates metaphysical assumptions about the existence of a divine or transcendent reality. Many religious traditions hold that a spiritual realm exists beyond the physical world and that this realm interacts with the material universe. These beliefs shape religious understandings of existence, purpose, and the nature of life. The concept of causality is a fundamental metaphysical assumption in both science and religion. In science, causality implies that events occur in a predictable sequence, with causes leading to effects. This principle allows for the development of theories and models that explain natural phenomena. In religion, causality can also involve divine intervention or purpose, suggesting that events unfold according to a divine plan. Metaphysical assumptions about time and space vary between scientific and religious perspectives. In physics, time and space are often seen as dimensions that can be measured and quantified. Theories like relativity challenge intuitive notions of time and space, suggesting they are interconnected and relative to the observer. In many religious traditions, time and space may be viewed more fluidly, with concepts of eternity and sacred spaces that transcend physical measurements. The nature of consciousness is another area where metaphysical assumptions diverge. Science typically approaches consciousness as a product of physical processes in the brain, subject to study through neuroscience and psychology. Religious perspectives may view consciousness as a manifestation of the soul or spirit, suggesting a non-material dimension to human existence. The question of free will versus determinism reflects deep metaphysical assumptions. In science, particularly in fields like physics and biology, there is debate about whether human actions are determined by natural laws or if individuals possess free will. Many religious traditions assert that humans have free will, granted by divine power, allowing for moral responsibility and ethical choice. Ontology, the study of being, addresses what entities exist and how they can be categorized. Scientific ontology often focuses on what can be empirically observed and measured, such as particles, forces, and biological organisms. Religious ontology may include entities that are not empirically verifiable, such as gods, spirits, and other supernatural beings. Epistemology and metaphysics are closely related. Epistemological questions about how we know what we know often depend on underlying metaphysical assumptions about what exists and how it can be known. In both science and religion, these assumptions shape methodologies and the interpretation of evidence. In metaphysics, the concept of the self is fundamental. Science often views the self as an emergent property of biological and cognitive processes. In contrast, many religious traditions view the self as a spiritual entity with an existence that transcends the physical body, often connected to beliefs about an afterlife or reincarnation. Ethical implications arise from metaphysical assumptions. In science, assumptions about human nature and the natural world inform ethical discussions about topics like environmental conservation and medical practices. Religious metaphysical assumptions about the sanctity of life and moral order influence ethical perspectives on issues such as justice, charity, and human dignity. Metaphysical naturalism is the view that only natural laws and forces operate in the world, rejecting the supernatural. This perspective is common in scientific communities and contrasts with metaphysical dualism, which posits both material and non-material realms. Religious traditions often adopt some form of dualism, acknowledging both the physical and the spiritual. The problem of evil and suffering is a significant issue in metaphysical discussions. Religious metaphysics often grapple with why a benevolent and omnipotent deity would allow suffering. Scientific metaphysical assumptions generally do not address moral questions directly, but explore the natural causes and consequences of suffering. The role of metaphysical assumptions in guiding human behavior is profound. Beliefs about the nature of reality influence how individuals and societies approach life, make decisions, and understand their place in the universe. Both scientific and religious worldviews provide frameworks for interpreting experiences and making sense of existence. Ultimately, metaphysical assumptions shape the foundational worldviews of both science and religion. While they may differ in their specific content and implications, these assumptions provide the basic structure for understanding reality and our place within it. By examining and reflecting on these assumptions, we gain deeper insights into the nature of knowledge, belief, and existence. Ethical implications arise naturally from the intersection of science and religion, as both fields offer distinct frameworks for understanding and addressing moral issues. These ethical considerations impact decisions in medicine, environmental policy, technology, and social justice. In medicine, ethical questions about life and death are paramount. Advances in biotechnology, such as genetic engineering and cloning, challenge traditional religious views on the sanctity of life. Both science and religion grapple with issues like euthanasia, abortion, and the use of embryonic stem cells, seeking to balance innovation with respect for human dignity. Environmental ethics is another critical area where science and religion intersect. Scientific research highlights the urgent need for sustainable practices to combat climate change and biodiversity loss. Many religious traditions advocate for stewardship of the earth, viewing environmental care as a moral imperative. This shared concern fosters collaboration between scientists and religious communities. Technological advancements, particularly in artificial intelligence and robotics, raise profound ethical questions. Issues of privacy, autonomy, and the future of work are central to these discussions. Religious perspectives often emphasize the importance of human dignity and caution against technologies that could dehumanize or harm individuals. Social justice is a core ethical concern for both science and religion. Scientific studies on inequality and social determinants of health inform policies aimed at reducing disparities. Religious teachings on compassion and justice inspire efforts to address poverty, discrimination, and human rights abuses, highlighting the moral dimensions of these issues. The ethics of scientific research itself is a topic of ongoing debate. Questions about the responsible conduct of research, informed consent, and the use of animals in experiments are critical. Religious and philosophical perspectives contribute to developing ethical guidelines that ensure research practices respect human and animal rights. Bioethics bridges the gap between scientific advancements and moral principles. This interdisciplinary field addresses complex issues such as organ transplantation, reproductive technologies, and end-of-life care. Both religious and scientific voices play a crucial role in shaping bioethical policies and practices. Ethical considerations in genetics include concerns about genetic privacy, discrimination, and the potential for eugenics. Advances in genomics offer significant benefits, but also pose risks if misused. Religious and ethical frameworks help guide the responsible application of genetic technologies. In public health, ethical issues such as vaccine distribution, access to healthcare, and pandemic response strategies are critical. Science provides the data and tools to address these challenges, while religious and moral perspectives emphasize equity, compassion, and the common good. Climate change ethics involves the responsibility to future generations, the fair distribution of resources, and the protection of vulnerable populations. Scientific evidence informs the understanding of climate impacts, while religious teachings often underscore the moral duty to care for creation and support those most affected. The development and use of artificial intelligence raise questions about the moral status of AI, the potential for bias, and the ethical use of data. Religious and philosophical discussions about personhood, agency, and moral responsibility contribute to shaping the ethical framework for AI technologies. Ethical implications of space exploration include considerations of planetary protection, the use of space resources, and the potential impact on extraterrestrial life. Science drives the exploration and understanding of space, while ethical and religious perspectives ponder humanity's role and responsibilities in the cosmos. Cultural ethics involves respecting diverse beliefs and practices, while promoting universal human rights. Scientific and religious communities often engage in dialogue to address cultural differences and foster mutual understanding, emphasizing respect and dignity for all individuals. The ethics of education involves questions about curriculum content, access to education, and the role of values in teaching. Science education promotes critical thinking and empirical knowledge, while religious education often emphasizes moral development and spiritual growth. Balancing these aspects is crucial for holistic education. Finally, ethical leadership in both science and religion requires integrity, transparency, and a commitment to the common good. Leaders in these fields must navigate complex moral landscapes, making decisions that reflect both ethical principles and practical realities. By fostering dialogue and collaboration, ethical leaders can guide society towards a more just and compassionate future. The Big Bang Theory is a scientific explanation for the origin of the universe. It posits that the universe began as a singular, extremely hot and dense point, approximately 13.8 billion years ago. This singularity expanded rapidly, leading to the formation of all matter and energy. This theory is supported by multiple lines of evidence. One of the most compelling pieces is the observation of the cosmic microwave background radiation. This faint glow, detected throughout the universe, is the remnant heat from the initial explosion, providing a snapshot of the universe shortly after its birth. Edwin Hubble's discovery of the redshift of galaxies further supports the Big Bang Theory. He observed that galaxies are moving away from us, with their light shifted towards the red end of the spectrum. This redshift indicates that the universe is expanding, a key prediction of the Big Bang model. Nucleosynthesis is another crucial aspect of the Big Bang theory. It explains the formation of the lightest elements, such as hydrogen, helium, and lithium, during the first few minutes after the Big Bang. The observed abundances of these elements in the universe match the predictions made by this theory. The Big Bang theory also accounts for the large-scale structure of the universe. It explains the distribution and clustering of galaxies, as well as the cosmic web of dark matter that binds them together. These structures have evolved over billions of years from initial density fluctuations in the early universe. The theory has profound implications for our understanding of time and space. It suggests that time and space themselves began with the Big Bang, challenging our notions of an eternal and unchanging universe. This idea reshapes our understanding of the cosmos and our place within it. Cosmic inflation is an extension of the Big Bang theory. It proposes a brief period of extremely rapid expansion during the first fraction of a second after the Big Bang. This inflationary period helps to explain the uniformity and flatness of the universe, as well as the distribution of cosmic microwave background radiation. Despite its success, the Big Bang theory raises several unanswered questions. One major question is the nature of the singularity from which the universe emerged. The laws of physics as we know them break down at this point, requiring new theories to describe the conditions at the very beginning. Another mystery is the nature of dark matter and dark energy. These unseen components make up most of the universe's mass and energy, yet their properties remain largely unknown. Understanding these phenomena is crucial for a complete picture of the universe's origin and evolution. The Big Bang theory has significant philosophical and theological implications. It suggests a beginning to the universe, which some interpret as evidence for a creator or a divine cause. This has led to ongoing dialogue between scientists, philosophers, and theologians about the ultimate origins of existence. Some religious perspectives find harmony with the Big Bang theory. For instance, the idea of a universe with a definitive beginning aligns with certain creation narratives. However, others argue that the theory challenges traditional views of a static, eternal cosmos. In addition to scientific and religious discussions, the Big Bang theory influences popular culture. It has become a central theme in numerous books, movies, and television shows, shaping public perceptions of cosmology and the nature of the universe. Technological advancements continue to test and refine the Big Bang theory. Instruments like the Hubble Space Telescope and the upcoming James Webb Space Telescope provide more detailed observations of distant galaxies and the early universe, helping scientists to understand its origins more precisely. The theory also inspires future scientific exploration. Questions about the earliest moments of the universe, the role of quantum mechanics, and the unification of fundamental forces drive ongoing research. These efforts aim to uncover deeper insights into the birth and evolution of the cosmos. Ultimately, the Big Bang theory represents a monumental achievement in human understanding. It offers a coherent and compelling narrative of the universe's origins, grounded in empirical evidence and rigorous scientific inquiry. As our knowledge continues to expand, the theory will undoubtedly evolve, providing ever richer insights into the nature of reality. Evolution and creationism represent two fundamentally different approaches to understanding the origins and development of life on Earth. Evolution is a scientific theory that explains the diversity of life through gradual changes over millions of years. Creationism, on the other hand, is based on religious beliefs that life was created by a divine being. The theory of evolution, first proposed by Charles Darwin, is supported by extensive evidence from various scientific fields. Fossil records show a progression of life forms from simple to more complex organisms. This gradual change over time is a key component of evolutionary theory. Natural selection is a central mechanism of evolution. It posits that individuals with advantageous traits are more likely to survive and reproduce, passing those traits to the next generation. Over time, this process leads to the adaptation of species to their environments. Genetics provides further evidence for evolution. The study of DNA has revealed how genetic mutations can lead to variations within a species. These genetic changes can accumulate over generations, leading to the emergence of new species. Evolutionary theory is supported by observations of real-time evolutionary changes. Examples include antibiotic resistance in bacteria and changes in the beak sizes of finches on the Galapagos Islands. These observations demonstrate that evolution is an ongoing process. Creationism, particularly in its literal form, interprets religious texts, such as the Bible, as accurate accounts of the origin of life. Many creationists believe that God created life in its present form, often within a relatively short time span, as described in the book of Genesis. Intelligent design is a modern form of creationism that argues certain features of the universe and living things are best explained by an intelligent cause, rather than natural processes. Proponents claim that complex biological structures cannot be explained by evolution alone. The debate between evolution and creationism often centers on educational curricula. In some regions, there have been efforts to teach creationism or intelligent design alongside evolution in science classes. This has sparked legal and educational controversies about the separation of church and state. The scientific community overwhelmingly supports evolution as the best explanation for the diversity of life. Major scientific organizations, including the National Academy of Sciences, endorse the teaching of evolution in schools based on its robust empirical support. Religious perspectives on evolution vary widely. Some religious groups accept evolution as compatible with their faith, viewing it as a tool used by God to create life. Others reject evolution entirely, seeing it as incompatible with their religious beliefs. The concept of theistic evolution reconciles religious faith with evolutionary theory. It suggests that God initiated or guided the process of evolution, allowing for both scientific understanding and religious belief. This perspective is embraced by many religious scientists and theologians. In contrast, young Earth creationism rejects the scientific consensus on the age of the Earth and evolution. Young Earth creationists believe the Earth is only a few thousand years old, based on a literal interpretation of religious texts. This view is not supported by scientific evidence. Public opinion on evolution and creationism varies by region and cultural context. Surveys indicate that acceptance of evolution is higher in countries with strong educational systems and lower in regions where religious fundamentalism is prevalent. The ongoing dialogue between science and religion on this issue reflects broader questions about the nature of evidence, the interpretation of sacred texts, and the role of education in society. This debate continues to shape public discourse and policy. Despite differences, some scientists and religious leaders advocate for respectful dialogue and mutual understanding. They encourage exploring how scientific and religious perspectives can coexist and contribute to a richer understanding of life's origins and development. Miracles and natural laws represent two distinct ways of understanding the events that occur in the world. Natural laws are the principles that govern the physical universe, such as gravity, electromagnetism, and thermodynamics. These laws are consistent, predictable, and can be described through scientific investigation. Miracles, on the other hand, are events that are believed to occur outside the natural order. They are often seen as acts of divine intervention that cannot be explained by natural laws. Many religious traditions hold that miracles are signs of the divine presence and power. Throughout history, reports of miracles have been a central part of many religious narratives. Stories of miraculous healings, supernatural occurrences, and divine interventions are found in sacred texts and religious traditions around the world. These accounts often serve to inspire faith and provide a sense of hope and wonder. In the context of Christianity, miracles such as the resurrection of Jesus, the parting of the Red Sea, and the healing of the sick are foundational to the faith. These events are seen as evidence of God's active involvement in the world and as validation of religious beliefs. Islam also holds numerous accounts of miracles, many of which are attributed to the Prophet Muhammad. These include the splitting of the moon and various miraculous healings. Such miracles are viewed as signs of divine favor and confirmation of the Prophet's message. Judaism has its own tradition of miracles, with the Hebrew Bible recounting events like the burning bush, the plagues of Egypt, and the manna from heaven. These miracles are integral to the Jewish understanding of God's relationship with humanity and the unfolding of divine plans. In Hinduism, miracles are often associated with the lives of saints and sages. Stories of miraculous births, healings, and supernatural feats are common in Hindu scriptures and folklore. These miracles are seen as manifestations of divine power and as evidence of spiritual truths. Buddhism, while generally focused on personal enlightenment and the natural law of karma, also includes accounts of miraculous events, particularly those associated with the Buddha and enlightened beings. These miracles are seen as expressions of the profound spiritual power that arises from deep insight and practice. Skeptics and proponents of naturalism often question the validity of miracles, arguing that they lack empirical evidence and cannot be tested or verified scientifically. From a naturalistic perspective, events that appear miraculous may eventually be explained by natural laws, as our understanding of the universe expands. Philosophers like David Hume have argued that miracles are inherently improbable and that the evidence for them is often unreliable. Hume's critique suggests that belief in miracles requires a suspension of rational judgment and an acceptance of testimony that is often dubious or insufficient. Supporters of miracles argue that the very nature of a miracle is to transcend natural laws, making it difficult, if not impossible, to analyze through scientific means. They claim that miracles are unique, one-time events that serve specific spiritual or divine purposes, rather than phenomena that can be replicated or studied systematically. The debate over miracles and natural laws touches on deeper philosophical questions about the nature of reality, the limits of human knowledge, and the existence of the supernatural. It raises important issues about how we interpret extraordinary events and the criteria we use to distinguish between natural and supernatural explanations. In the modern world, reports of miracles continue to inspire both belief and skepticism. Events such as unexplained healings, apparitions, and near-death experiences are often cited as evidence of the miraculous. These reports are frequently investigated by both religious authorities and scientific researchers, sometimes leading to controversy and debate. The coexistence of belief in miracles and adherence to natural laws is a testament to the complexity of human understanding. Many people navigate both perspectives, finding ways to integrate their spiritual beliefs with their appreciation for scientific inquiry. This dual approach reflects the ongoing dialogue between faith and reason in the quest to comprehend the mysteries of existence. Ultimately, the discussion of miracles and natural laws invites us to explore the boundaries of what we know and to consider the possibilities beyond our current understanding. It challenges us to remain open to wonder and to engage with the profound questions that have fascinated humanity for millennia. Consciousness and the soul are profound concepts that lie at the intersection of science, philosophy, and religion. Consciousness refers to the state of being aware of and able to think about one's own existence, thoughts, and surroundings. The soul is often described as the immaterial essence of a person, believed to be immortal and central to identity in many religious traditions. The scientific study of consciousness involves exploring how the brain produces thoughts, feelings, and self-awareness. Neuroscientists examine brain activity, neural networks, and cognitive functions to understand how consciousness arises from physical processes. Despite significant advances, the exact nature of consciousness remains one of the most challenging questions in science. In contrast, the concept of the soul is rooted in spiritual and religious beliefs. Many religious traditions hold that the soul is a divine or eternal aspect of a person that transcends physical existence. This belief often includes the idea that the soul continues to exist after death, entering an afterlife or undergoing reincarnation. Philosophers have long debated the relationship between consciousness and the soul. Dualism, a view most famously associated with René Descartes, posits that the mind or soul and body are distinct entities. According to dualism, the mind or soul interacts with the physical brain, but is not reducible to it. Materialism, on the other hand, argues that consciousness can be fully explained by physical processes in the brain. Materialists believe that what we call the soul is simply the result of complex neurological functions. This perspective suggests that consciousness ceases when brain activity ends. Eastern philosophies, such as those found in Hinduism and Buddhism, offer unique perspectives on consciousness and the soul. Hinduism teaches that the soul, or Atman, is eternal and part of a greater universal soul, Brahman. Buddhism focuses on the concept of anatta, or no self, suggesting that what we perceive as the self is an illusion created by the mind. Near-death experiences and reports of consciousness during clinical death have fueled debates about the existence of the soul. Some interpret these experiences as evidence of the soul's existence, while skeptics argue they can be explained by physiological and psychological factors during extreme stress. Artificial intelligence and the possibility of creating conscious machines raise new questions about the nature of consciousness and the soul. If a machine could achieve self-awareness, it would challenge our understanding of what it means to be conscious and whether such a machine could possess a soul. The ethical implications of beliefs about consciousness and the soul are significant. These beliefs influence views on the sanctity of life, the morality of actions, and the treatment of individuals. For instance, the belief in an immortal soul may shape attitudes towards issues like euthanasia, abortion, and animal rights. Mystical experiences and altered states of consciousness provide insights into the connection between the mind and the spiritual realm. Practices such as meditation, prayer, and the use of psychedelics can induce profound changes in consciousness, often interpreted as encounters with the divine or the soul. In psychology, theories about the self and identity explore how consciousness constructs our sense of who we are. Concepts such as the unconscious mind, developed by Freud and Jung, suggest that much of our mental life occurs outside conscious awareness, influencing our thoughts and behaviors. The hard problem of consciousness, a term coined by philosopher David Chalmers, refers to the challenge of explaining why and how subjective experiences arise from physical processes. This problem highlights the limits of current scientific understanding and invites ongoing exploration and interdisciplinary dialogue. In religious practices, rituals and sacraments often aim to connect believers with their souls or the divine. These practices reflect the belief that spiritual experiences can deepen one's understanding of consciousness and the soul, offering pathways to enlightenment or salvation. The arts frequently explore themes of consciousness and the soul, using literature, music, and visual arts to express and reflect on these deep aspects of human experience. Artistic expressions often resonate with people's spiritual beliefs and personal experiences of consciousness. The ongoing dialogue between science and religion about consciousness and the soul reflects broader questions about the nature of reality, the limits of human knowledge, and the essence of what it means to be alive. This conversation continues to evolve as new discoveries and ideas emerge, enriching our understanding of these fundamental aspects of existence. Morality and ethics are central to both religious and scientific discussions about how humans should live and treat one another. These concepts address questions of right and wrong, good and evil, and the principles that guide human behavior. Religious traditions often provide moral frameworks through sacred texts, teachings, and traditions. These frameworks offer guidelines for ethical behavior, emphasizing virtues like compassion, justice, and humility. For many, religious beliefs are a source of moral authority and inspiration. In contrast, secular approaches to ethics rely on reason, empirical evidence, and philosophical inquiry. Philosophers like Kant, Mill, and Aristotle have developed ethical theories that emphasize principles such as duty, utility, and virtue. These theories seek to establish universal moral principles independent of religious beliefs. One of the major ethical theories is utilitarianism, which posits that the right action is the one that maximizes overall happiness or well-being. This consequentialist approach evaluates the morality of actions based on their outcomes, striving for the greatest good for the greatest number. Deontological ethics, associated with Immanuel Kant, focuses on the inherent morality of actions rather than their consequences. Kantian ethics emphasizes duty, rights, and the categorical imperative, which instructs individuals to act according to principles that could be universally applied. Virtue ethics, rooted in the philosophy of Aristotle, emphasizes the development of moral character. This approach focuses on cultivating virtues like courage, temperance, and wisdom, suggesting that ethical behavior arises from a well-developed moral character. In religious ethics, the concept of divine command theory asserts that moral principles are grounded in the commands of a divine being. According to this view, what is morally right is determined by God's will, and ethical behavior involves following divine laws and commandments. The relationship between morality and religion has been a topic of debate for centuries. Some argue that moral values are inherently tied to religious beliefs, while others contend that morality can exist independently of religion. This debate explores whether ethical principles require a religious foundation. Secular humanism is an ethical stance that emphasizes human values and the importance of reason and empathy in moral decision-making. Humanists argue that humans can lead meaningful and ethical lives without reliance on religious doctrines, focusing instead on human welfare and rights. Ethical dilemmas in science and technology highlight the complex interplay between morality and innovation. Issues like genetic engineering, artificial intelligence, and environmental conservation raise important ethical questions about the responsible use of scientific knowledge and technology. Bioethics, an interdisciplinary field, addresses the ethical implications of advances in biology and medicine. Topics such as cloning, stem cell research, and end-of-life care involve complex ethical considerations, requiring input from both scientific and religious perspectives to navigate moral challenges. Environmental ethics explores the moral relationship between humans and the natural world. This field examines issues like conservation, climate change, and biodiversity, emphasizing the ethical responsibility to protect and preserve the environment for future generations. Global justice is another critical area where morality and ethics intersect. Issues such as poverty, inequality, and human rights demand ethical responses that consider both individual and collective responsibilities. Religious and secular perspectives contribute to the ongoing efforts to promote global justice and equity. The role of empathy and compassion in ethical behavior is emphasized by both religious teachings and psychological research. Empathy involves understanding and sharing the feelings of others, while compassion motivates actions to alleviate suffering. These qualities are seen as fundamental to ethical conduct. Ethical leadership requires a commitment to integrity, accountability, and the common good. Leaders in both religious and secular contexts are called to model ethical behavior, make principled decisions, and inspire others to act with moral courage and responsibility. Ultimately, the exploration of morality and ethics bridges the gap between religious and scientific perspectives, fostering a deeper understanding of what it means to live a good and just life. Through dialogue and collaboration, we can address the moral challenges of our time and work towards a more ethical and compassionate world. Galileo Galilei was a pioneering scientist whose work laid the foundations for modern physics and astronomy. Born in 1564 in Pisa, Italy, Galileo's early studies focused on medicine, but he soon turned to mathematics and natural philosophy. Galileo's contributions to science are vast, but he is perhaps best known for his improvements to the telescope. In 1609, he built a telescope that allowed him to observe the heavens with unprecedented clarity. His observations challenged the prevailing geocentric model of the universe, which placed the Earth at the center. Through his telescope, Galileo discovered the 4 largest moons of Jupiter, now known as the Galilean moons. This discovery provided strong evidence against the geocentric model, as it showed that not all celestial bodies orbited the Earth. Galileo also observed the phases of Venus, which supported the heliocentric theory proposed by Copernicus. The changing appearances of Venus could only be explained if Venus orbited the Sun, further challenging the geocentric model. His observations of the Moon revealed a rugged, cratered surface, contradicting the Aristotelian belief that celestial bodies were perfect and unchanging. Galileo's detailed drawings and descriptions of the Moon's surface brought a new level of detail to astronomical studies. Galileo's advocacy for the heliocentric model brought him into conflict with the Catholic Church. The Church, which held significant authority over intellectual and scientific matters, supported the geocentric view as it was aligned with certain interpretations of Scripture. In 1616, the Church formally declared the heliocentric theory to be heretical. Galileo was ordered to abandon his support for the theory, but he continued his work in secret. His publication, Dialogue Concerning the Two Chief World Systems, in 1632, presented arguments for both the geocentric and heliocentric models, but clearly favored the latter. Galileo was summoned to Rome by the Inquisition and put on trial for heresy in 1633. Under threat of torture, he recanted his support for the heliocentric theory and was placed under house arrest for the remainder of his life. Despite his recantation, Galileo continued to write and conduct scientific experiments. His later work, Two New Sciences, laid the groundwork for the study of kinematics and material strength, further establishing his legacy as a foundational figure in physics. Galileo's insistence on empirical observation and experimentation over accepted dogma marked a significant shift in scientific methodology. His approach emphasized the importance of evidence and reason in the pursuit of knowledge, principles that remain central to scientific inquiry today. Galileo's conflict with the Church highlights the tension between science and religious authority during his time. This historical episode is often cited as a key example of the struggles faced by scientists in challenging established beliefs and the importance of intellectual freedom. In 1992, the Catholic Church formally acknowledged its error in condemning Galileo. Pope John Paul II expressed regret for how the Galileo affair was handled, recognizing Galileo's contributions to science and the importance of the heliocentric theory. Galileo's life and work continue to inspire scientists and thinkers around the world. His commitment to observation, experimentation, and the questioning of established views embodies the spirit of scientific inquiry and the pursuit of truth. The legacy of Galileo Galilei serves as a reminder of the importance of perseverance and courage in the face of opposition. His groundbreaking discoveries and methodologies paved the way for future scientific advancements, earning him a place as one of the most influential figures in the history of science. Charles Darwin was a naturalist whose work revolutionized our understanding of the biological world. Born in 1809 in Shrewsbury, England, Darwin initially studied medicine and theology before turning his attention to natural history. Darwin's most significant contribution to science is his theory of evolution by natural selection. This theory proposes that species evolve over time through a process where individuals with advantageous traits are more likely to survive and reproduce, passing those traits to the next generation. The foundation of Darwin's theory was laid during his voyage on the HMS Beagle, a journey that took him around the world from 1831 to 1836. Observing diverse species and geological formations, particularly in the Galapagos Islands, Darwin gathered evidence that led him to question the fixed nature of species. In the Galapagos, Darwin noted that finches on different islands had distinct beak shapes adapted to their specific diets. This observation suggested that species could change over time in response to their environment, a key idea that would later be central to his theory of natural selection. Upon returning to England, Darwin spent years meticulously gathering evidence and refining his ideas. In 1859, he published On the Origin of Species, which presented his theory of evolution by natural selection and provided extensive evidence to support it. On the Origin of Species challenged the prevailing view that species were immutable creations. Darwin's theory implied that all life on Earth shared common ancestry, and that the diversity of life resulted from gradual changes over long periods. The reception of Darwin's theory was mixed. While many scientists embraced the evidence for evolution, others rejected it due to its implications for human origins and its perceived conflict with religious teachings about creation. Darwin's theory sparked intense debates about the relationship between science and religion. Some religious leaders condemned his ideas, while others sought ways to reconcile evolutionary theory with their faith. This ongoing dialogue continues to shape discussions about science and religion today. And Darwin himself was cautious about discussing the religious implications of his work. Although he struggled with religious questions throughout his life, he maintained a respectful distance from outright atheism, focusing instead on the scientific aspects of his theory. In addition to On the Origin of Species, Darwin wrote several other influential works, including The Descent of Man, which applied his evolutionary theory to human beings, and The Expression of the Emotions in Man and Animals, which explored the biological basis of behavior. Darwin's meticulous research and comprehensive writing laid the groundwork for modern biology. His theory of evolution by natural selection remains a cornerstone of biological science, providing a framework for understanding the diversity and complexity of life on Earth. Despite initial resistance, Darwin's ideas gradually gained acceptance in the scientific community. Advances in genetics, paleontology, and molecular biology have provided further support for his theory, confirming and expanding upon his original insights. Darwin's legacy extends beyond biology. His ideas have influenced a wide range of disciplines, from psychology and anthropology to philosophy and ethics. The concept of evolution by natural selection has become a fundamental principle in understanding the natural world and our place within it. Throughout his life, Darwin was known for his humility and dedication to truth. He meticulously documented his findings and engaged openly with his critics, exemplifying the spirit of scientific inquiry and intellectual honesty. Charles Darwin's work continues to inspire and challenge us to explore the natural world with curiosity and rigor. His contributions have profoundly shaped our understanding of life, making him one of the most influential figures in the history of science. Albert Einstein was a theoretical physicist whose groundbreaking work reshaped our understanding of the universe. Born in 1879 in Ulm, Germany, Einstein showed early signs of genius, but he also faced challenges in his formal education, which did not conform to his inquisitive and independent nature. Einstein's most famous contribution is his theory of relativity, which fundamentally altered our concepts of space, time, and gravity. In 1905, he published the special theory of relativity, introducing the equation E=mc2, which demonstrates the relationship between mass and energy. Special relativity proposed that the laws of physics are the same for all non-accelerating observers, and that the speed of light is constant, regardless of the observer's motion. This theory led to the conclusion that time and space are not absolute but relative, varying with the observer's velocity. In 1915, Einstein extended these ideas with his general theory of relativity. This theory describes gravity not as a force, but as a curvature of space-time caused by mass and energy. General relativity has been confirmed by many experiments and observations, such as the bending of light around massive objects and the precise orbit of Mercury. Einstein's theories had profound implications for our understanding of the universe, predicting phenomena such as black holes, gravitational waves, and the expansion of the universe. These predictions have been validated by subsequent scientific discoveries, cementing his legacy as one of the greatest physicists in history. Despite his monumental contributions to physics, Einstein was also deeply philosophical and reflective about the nature of science and its relationship to human experience. He believed in the power of curiosity and imagination, famously stating that imagination is more important than knowledge. Einstein's views on religion and spirituality were complex and nuanced. He often described himself as agnostic, rejecting the notion of a personal God, but expressing a deep sense of wonder and reverence for the cosmos. He spoke of a cosmic religious feeling, a sense of awe at the beauty and complexity of the universe. Throughout his life, Einstein was an advocate for peace and humanitarian causes. He was deeply affected by the social and political upheavals of his time, including the rise of fascism and the horrors of World War II. He used his fame and influence to speak out against violence and injustice. Einstein's pacifism was tested by the advent of nuclear weapons, a technology that his own work had indirectly made possible. He signed a letter to President Franklin D. Roosevelt, urging the development of atomic weapons as a deterrent against Nazi Germany, but later became a vocal advocate for nuclear disarmament. Einstein's contributions to science were recognized with numerous awards and honors, including the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1921 for his explanation of the photoelectric effect. This work demonstrated the particle nature of light and was crucial in the development of quantum theory. Despite his scientific achievements, Einstein remained humble and approachable. He often engaged with younger scientists and students, encouraging them to pursue their own paths of discovery and to question established ideas. In his later years, Einstein continued to work on theoretical physics, seeking a unified field theory that would reconcile general relativity with quantum mechanics. Although he did not achieve this goal, his efforts paved the way for future research in the quest for a deeper understanding of the fundamental forces of nature. Einstein's legacy extends beyond his scientific contributions. His writings and speeches on education, civil rights, and the responsibilities of scientists in society continue to inspire and challenge us to think critically and act compassionately. Albert Einstein's life and work embody the pursuit of knowledge and the quest for understanding the mysteries of the universe. His insights have transformed our view of reality, and his example continues to inspire generations of scientists and thinkers. Einstein's impact on science, philosophy, and human thought is immeasurable. His theories and ideas have opened new horizons and deepened our appreciation of the intricate and wondrous nature of the cosmos. Through his work, he has left an indelible mark on the world, forever changing the way we see and understand the universe. Stephen Hawking was a theoretical physicist whose work profoundly influenced our understanding of black holes and cosmology. Born in 1942 in Oxford, England, Hawking showed an early aptitude for mathematics and science, eventually earning a place at the University of Cambridge. Hawking's most notable contribution to science is his work on black holes. He combined principles from quantum mechanics and general relativity to develop his groundbreaking theory of Hawking radiation, which posits that black holes can emit radiation and slowly lose mass over time. This theory challenged the traditional view that nothing could escape a black hole's event horizon. Hawking radiation provided a mechanism for black holes to eventually evaporate, reconciling quantum theory with the properties of black holes and addressing the black hole information paradox. Hawking's work also included significant contributions to the understanding of the early universe. He proposed that quantum fluctuations in the early universe could lead to the formation of galaxies and other large-scale structures we observe today. Despite being diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, at the age of 21, Hawking continued his research and made substantial contributions to theoretical physics. The progression of his disease eventually left him almost completely paralyzed, but he communicated and wrote using a speech-generating device. Hawking's book, A Brief History of Time, published in 1988, brought complex scientific concepts to a general audience. It became an international bestseller and has been translated into numerous languages, making Hawking a household name and inspiring a new generation of scientists. Hawking's work extended beyond black holes and cosmology. He explored the nature of time, proposing that it could have different properties in the context of the universe's origins. His concept of imaginary time suggested a way to avoid the singularity problem at the beginning of the universe. Hawking's collaboration with mathematician Roger Penrose led to important theorems about singularities in the context of general relativity. These theorems provided a deeper understanding of the conditions under which singularities, such as those at the centers of black holes, can form. In addition to his scientific achievements, Hawking was known for his wit and public engagement. He made numerous appearances in popular media, including television shows like The Simpsons and Star Trek, using his platform to promote science and inspire curiosity. Hawking's later work included attempts to develop a theory of everything, a unified framework that could explain all fundamental forces of nature. While this goal remains elusive, his efforts contributed to ongoing research in string theory and quantum gravity. Throughout his life, Hawking remained an advocate for space exploration and the future of humanity. He warned about potential existential threats, such as artificial intelligence and climate change, emphasizing the need for scientific progress and responsible stewardship of technology. Hawking received numerous awards and honors for his contributions to science, including the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian award in the United States. He was also a Fellow of the Royal Society and a member of the Pontifical Academy of Sciences. Despite his physical limitations, Hawking's determination and intellectual curiosity never waned. He continued to conduct research, write, and engage with the scientific community until his passing in 2018. His perseverance and achievements serve as an inspiration to countless individuals facing their own challenges. Hawking's legacy extends beyond his scientific discoveries. His life story, characterized by resilience and a relentless pursuit of knowledge, resonates with people around the world. He demonstrated that even the most daunting obstacles can be overcome with creativity, determination, and a passion for discovery. Stephen Hawking's contributions have left an indelible mark on the fields of physics and cosmology. His insights into black holes, the nature of time, and the origins of the universe continue to influence research and shape our understanding of the cosmos. His legacy will endure as one of the greatest minds in the history of science. Modern scientists and theologians continue to explore the relationship between science and religion, seeking to bridge the gap between these fields and foster dialogue. These individuals come from diverse backgrounds and contribute unique perspectives to the ongoing conversation. One prominent figure is Francis Collins, a geneticist who led the Human Genome Project. Collins is also a devout Christian and has written extensively about his belief that science and faith are compatible. His book, The Language of God, argues for a harmonious relationship between scientific discovery and religious belief. John Polkinghorne, a theoretical physicist and Anglican priest, has made significant contributions to both science and theology. Polkinghorne's work emphasizes the compatibility of scientific understanding and religious faith, advocating for a respectful dialogue between the two. Alistair McGrath, a former biochemist turned theologian, is known for his writings on science and religion. McGrath argues that both science and religion offer valuable insights into the nature of reality and that they can mutually enrich each other. His works include The Twilight of Atheism and Science and Religion, an Introduction. Ian Barber, a physicist and theologian, was a pioneer in the field of science and religion. Barber's fourfold typology, conflict, independence, dialogue, and integration has been influential in framing the different ways science and religion can interact. His book, When Science Meets Religion, explores these interactions in depth. Nancy Murphy, a philosopher and theologian, has written extensively on the relationship between science and religion, particularly in the context of neuroscience and philosophy of mind. Murphy advocates for a non-reductive physicalist view that respects both scientific and religious perspectives on human nature. William Lane Craig, a philosopher and Christian apologist, engages in debates and discussions about the existence of God, the nature of time, and the origins of the universe. Craig's work often addresses the philosophical underpinnings of scientific theories and their implications for religious belief. Robert John Russell, a physicist and theologian, founded the Center for Theology and the Natural Sciences. Russell's work focuses on the constructive dialogue between science and religion, particularly in areas such as cosmology, quantum mechanics, and evolutionary biology. Sarah Coakley, a theologian and philosopher, explores the intersections of theology, philosophy, and science. Coakley's research includes topics such as evolutionary biology, the nature of God, and the role of prayer in understanding the divine. She advocates for a deeply integrated approach to science and religion. Dennis Alexander, a molecular biologist and theologian, writes about the relationship between genetics and Christian faith. Alexander's book, Creation or Evolution, Do We Have to Choose?, argues that evolutionary biology is compatible with a belief in divine creation. Carl Giberson, a physicist and scholar, has written extensively on the compatibility of science and Christian faith. Giberson's works address the perceived conflict between evolution and Christianity, advocating for a synthesis that respects both scientific evidence and religious belief. Heidi Campbell, a scholar of digital religion, explores the impact of technology on religious practices and beliefs. Campbell's research examines how digital media shapes religious communities and the ways in which religious traditions adapt to technological advancements. John Hort, a theologian, focuses on the implications of evolutionary biology for theology. Hort's work, including God After Darwin, argues that evolution can deepen our understanding of God and creation rather than diminish it. Elaine Howard Eklund, a sociologist, studies the views of scientists on religion and spirituality. Eklund's research provides valuable insights into how scientists navigate their religious beliefs in the context of their scientific work, highlighting the diversity of perspectives within the scientific community. Ted Peters, a theologian and ethicist, addresses the ethical and theological implications of advances in genetics, biotechnology, and artificial intelligence. Peters' work emphasizes the need for ethical reflection and theological insight in the face of rapid technological change. Modern scientists and theologians continue to demonstrate that the relationship between science and religion is complex and multifaceted. Through their work, they foster a deeper understanding and appreciation of both realms, encouraging a dialogue that enriches our knowledge and enhances our experience of the world. Public school curricula play a crucial role in shaping students' understanding of science and religion. The way these subjects are taught can influence how young people perceive the relationship between scientific inquiry and religious beliefs. In many countries, the teaching of evolution in biology classes has been a point of contention. Evolution is a fundamental concept in modern biology, explaining the diversity of life through natural processes. However, its inclusion in school curricula has faced opposition from some religious groups. The debate over teaching creationism or intelligent design alongside evolution has been prominent in the United States. Proponents argue that these perspectives should be presented as alternatives to evolution. Critics contend that these views lack scientific support and should not be part of science education. Court cases such as Edwards versus Aguilard and Kitzmiller versus Dover Area School District have addressed the legality of teaching creationism and intelligent design in public schools. These rulings have generally reinforced the principle that science curricula should be based on scientific evidence and methodologies. In addition to biology, the inclusion of cosmology and the Big Bang Theory in physics classes has sparked discussions about the origins of the universe. These scientific theories often intersect with religious questions about creation, prompting educators to navigate these topics carefully. The separation of church and state is a key consideration in public school education. This principle aims to ensure that public schools do not endorse or promote specific religious beliefs. This separation helps maintain a neutral educational environment where scientific theories can be taught without religious bias. Some educators advocate for a more integrative approach, where students are encouraged to explore both scientific and religious perspectives. This approach aims to foster critical thinking and a deeper understanding of the complexities surrounding these topics. World religions courses in public schools can provide students with a broad overview of various religious traditions. These courses often explore the historical, cultural, and philosophical aspects of religions, helping students appreciate the diversity of religious thought and practice. The inclusion of philosophy of science in school curricula can help students understand the nature of scientific inquiry and the limits of scientific knowledge. This subject can provide valuable context for discussions about the relationship between science and religion. Ethics education in schools often addresses questions about the moral implications of scientific advancements. Topics such as genetic engineering, environmental conservation, and medical ethics can be explored from both scientific and ethical perspectives. Teachers play a crucial role in how science and religion are presented in the classroom. Their personal beliefs and attitudes can influence how they approach these topics. Professional development and training can help educators handle these subjects with sensitivity and balance. Student discussions and debates can be effective tools for exploring the relationship between science and religion. Encouraging respectful dialogue and critical analysis can help students form their own informed perspectives on these complex issues. The role of textbooks and educational materials is also significant. Textbooks that present scientific theories accurately and without religious bias are essential for a balanced science education. Supplementary materials can provide additional perspectives and encourage deeper exploration. Parents and communities often have strong opinions about how science and religion should be taught in schools. Engaging with these stakeholders through open communication and inclusive decision-making processes can help address concerns and build support for the curriculum. Ultimately, the goal of public school curricula should be to equip students with the knowledge and skills they need to navigate the world. By fostering an understanding of both scientific principles and religious diversity, educators can help students develop a well-rounded worldview that respects both scientific inquiry and religious belief. Religious schools offer an alternative educational environment where faith and academics are integrated. These institutions often emphasize religious teachings alongside standard academic subjects, creating a unique approach to education. In religious schools, the curriculum typically includes religious studies as a core component. Students engage with sacred texts, learn about religious traditions, and explore the moral and ethical teachings of their faith. This integration aims to nurture both intellectual and spiritual growth. Science education in religious schools can vary widely. Some schools embrace scientific theories like evolution and the Big Bang, presenting them in a way that harmonizes with religious beliefs. Others may adopt a more critical stance, preferring creationist or intelligent design perspectives. Catholic schools, for example, often teach evolution as part of their science curriculum. The Catholic Church generally accepts evolution as a means by which God created life, allowing for a complementary relationship between faith and science. In contrast, some evangelical Protestant schools may emphasize a literal interpretation of the Bible. These schools might teach creationism or intelligent design, viewing these perspectives as more aligned with their religious beliefs. Jewish schools often include extensive studies of the Torah and Talmud, integrating these teachings with secular subjects. Science education in Jewish schools can vary, with some institutions embracing modern scientific theories, and others taking a more traditional approach. Islamic schools incorporate teachings from the Quran and Hadith into their curricula. Science education in these schools may be presented in a way that underscores the harmony between Islamic teachings and scientific inquiry, reflecting the historical contributions of Muslim scientists. Religious schools often place a strong emphasis on character education. This includes fostering values such as integrity, compassion, and social responsibility. These schools aim to develop well-rounded individuals who are not only knowledgeable, but also morally grounded. Extracurricular activities in religious schools frequently include service projects, community engagement, and religious observances. These activities reinforce the connection between faith and action, encouraging students to live out their beliefs in practical ways. Parents who choose religious schools for their children often do so because they want an education that aligns with their family's beliefs and values. These schools provide a community where faith is openly discussed and integrated into daily life. Teachers in religious schools typically share the faith of the institution and incorporate it into their teaching. This shared belief system can create a cohesive educational environment where academic and spiritual development go hand in hand. Religious schools sometimes face challenges in balancing faith-based education with academic rigor, ensuring that students receive a comprehensive education that meets standard benchmarks while staying true to religious principles requires careful planning and execution. Accreditation and oversight of religious schools can vary by region. Some religious schools are part of larger networks or dioceses that provide guidelines and support, while others operate independently. Accreditation ensures that these schools meet certain educational standards. Graduates of religious schools often carry their faith into higher education and their professional lives. The values and knowledge they gain in these environments can influence their personal and career choices, fostering a lifelong connection to their religious community. Ultimately, religious schools offer a distinctive educational experience that integrates faith and learning. By providing a space where religious teachings and academic subjects are intertwined, these schools aim to develop students who are both intellectually competent and spiritually grounded. University courses on science and religion provide students with a comprehensive understanding of the interactions and intersections between these two fields. These courses often explore historical, philosophical, and theological perspectives, offering a multidisciplinary approach. Many universities offer specific courses on the history of science and religion. These courses examine key historical events, figures, and debates that have shaped the relationship between scientific inquiry and religious belief, from the medieval period to the present day. Philosophy courses often delve into the epistemological and metaphysical questions at the heart of the science-religion dialogue. These courses encourage students to critically examine the nature of knowledge, the existence of God, and the implications of scientific discoveries for religious beliefs. Theology courses provide an in-depth study of religious doctrines and their responses to scientific advancements. Students explore how different religious traditions have interpreted and integrated scientific findings, and how these interpretations have evolved over time. Courses on ethics and bioethics are particularly relevant in the context of science and religion. These courses address moral questions related to medical advancements, environmental issues, and technological innovations, examining the ethical frameworks provided by both scientific and religious perspectives. Some universities offer courses specifically focused on controversial topics, such as evolution and creationism. These courses analyze the scientific evidence for evolution, the religious objections to it, and the broader cultural implications of this debate. Interdisciplinary courses combine insights from multiple fields to provide a holistic understanding of science and religion. These courses might include readings from biology, physics, philosophy, and theology, fostering a dialogue between different academic disciplines. Courses on cosmology and the origins of the universe explore scientific theories such as the Big Bang and their theological implications. Students learn about the scientific evidence for these theories and how they relate to religious narratives of creation. Psychology courses might examine the cognitive and social aspects of religious belief and experience. These courses explore how religious beliefs are formed, how they influence behavior, and how they interact with scientific understandings of the mind. Courses on the philosophy of mind address questions about consciousness, the soul, and the nature of human identity. These topics are at the intersection of science and religion, exploring how physical and metaphysical explanations can coexist or conflict. Sociology courses often analyze the impact of science and religion on society. These courses explore how scientific and religious institutions influence social norms, cultural values, and public policies, highlighting the complex relationship between these powerful forces. Environmental studies courses might focus on the ethical and spiritual dimensions of environmental conservation. These courses examine how religious beliefs and scientific knowledge can inform and inspire efforts to address ecological challenges. Courses on comparative religion provide insights into how different religious traditions view the relationship between science and faith. Students compare and contrast these views, gaining a broader understanding of the diversity of religious thought. Some universities offer seminars and workshops that bring together scientists, theologians, and philosophers to discuss current issues at the intersection of science and religion. These events provide opportunities for in-depth dialogue and collaborative learning. By offering a diverse array of courses on science and religion, universities play a crucial role in educating students about the complexities of these fields. These courses encourage critical thinking, foster interdisciplinary understanding, and prepare students to navigate the challenges and opportunities of integrating scientific and religious perspectives in their personal and professional lives. Textbooks and resources play a vital role in shaping how students understand the relationship between science and religion. These materials provide foundational knowledge, present key debates, and offer diverse perspectives on complex issues. Science textbooks often focus on empirical evidence and the scientific method. They cover topics such as evolution, the Big Bang theory, and genetics, emphasizing observation, experimentation, and theory development. These textbooks aim to provide a rigorous grounding in scientific principles. Religious studies textbooks, on the other hand, explore theological concepts, sacred texts, and the history of religious traditions. They examine beliefs about creation, the nature of the divine, and moral teachings, offering insights into how different faiths interpret the world. Some textbooks attempt to bridge the gap between science and religion by presenting them in a complementary manner. These resources highlight areas of agreement, such as the wonder of creation and the ethical implications of scientific discoveries, fostering a more integrated understanding. In addition to textbooks, various digital resources enhance learning about science and religion. Online databases, academic journals, and multimedia content provide access to the latest research, scholarly articles, and interactive learning tools that deepen students' engagement with these subjects. Open educational resources, OER, offer free, accessible materials that cover a wide range of topics related to science and religion. These resources include lesson plans, video lectures, and discussion guides, enabling educators to incorporate diverse content into their teaching. Libraries and archives also serve as important repositories of knowledge. They house rare books, manuscripts, and historical documents that provide valuable insights into the development of scientific and religious thought over centuries. Access to these materials supports in-depth research and study. Interdisciplinary anthologies compile writings from scientists, theologians, and philosophers, presenting multiple viewpoints on key issues. These collections help students understand the breadth of perspectives and the ongoing dialogue between different fields of inquiry. Educational publishers increasingly recognize the importance of addressing the intersection of science and religion. New textbooks and resources often include sections or chapters dedicated to exploring how these domains interact, reflecting contemporary scholarly and public interest in the topic. Teacher guides and professional development resources support educators in effectively teaching about science and religion. These materials offer strategies for addressing sensitive topics, facilitating discussions, and integrating diverse viewpoints into the curriculum. Student workbooks and activity guides provide hands-on learning opportunities. Exercises and projects encourage critical thinking, problem-solving, and collaborative learning, helping students to engage actively with the material and develop their own informed perspectives. Documentaries and educational films bring the subjects of science and religion to life. Visual storytelling and expert interviews offer compelling narratives that can enhance understanding and spark curiosity about the natural world and its deeper meanings. Online forums and educational platforms facilitate discussion and collaboration among students and educators. These spaces allow for the exchange of ideas, questions, and resources, fostering a global community of learners interested in the interplay between science and religion. Supplementary readings, such as biographies of influential figures like Galileo, Darwin, and Einstein, provide context and humanize the scientific and theological debates. These stories illustrate the challenges and triumphs of those who have contributed to our understanding of both realms. Interactive simulations and virtual labs offer experiential learning opportunities. These tools allow students to explore scientific concepts and conduct virtual experiments, enhancing their comprehension and appreciation of the scientific method and its applications. Overall, textbooks and resources are essential in providing a comprehensive and balanced education on science and religion. By incorporating a wide range of materials, educators can help students navigate the complexities of these fields and appreciate their profound impact on human thought and culture. The influence of education on students' understanding of science and religion is profound. How these subjects are taught can shape students' beliefs, critical thinking skills, and overall worldview. Exposure to both scientific and religious perspectives allows students to develop a more nuanced understanding of the world. They learn to appreciate the value of empirical evidence while also considering moral and ethical implications. Studying science and religion can enhance students' critical thinking abilities. They learn to analyze arguments, evaluate evidence, and consider multiple viewpoints. This skill set is essential for informed decision-making and civic engagement. Engaging with both science and religion helps students understand the complexity of human knowledge. They see that different fields of study can provide complementary insights into the same questions, fostering a more holistic perspective. Students exposed to interdisciplinary education often become more open-minded and tolerant. They learn to respect diverse beliefs and understand that differing viewpoints can coexist. This openness is crucial in an increasingly interconnected and multicultural world. Education on science and religion can also impact students' ethical development. They explore how scientific advancements affect society and consider ethical frameworks from various religious traditions. This exploration encourages them to think deeply about their values and responsibilities. For some students, learning about science and religion can strengthen their faith. They see how scientific discoveries can enhance their understanding of the divine, deepening their spiritual convictions. Conversely, other students might find that scientific education challenges their religious beliefs. This can lead to a period of questioning and exploration, ultimately resulting in a more mature and thoughtful faith, or a re-evaluation of their beliefs. Interdisciplinary education can inspire students to pursue careers in science, theology, or related fields. They see the importance of both scientific inquiry and ethical reflection, motivating them to contribute to these areas. Students who understand the dialogue between science and religion are better prepared to address contemporary issues. They can engage thoughtfully with debates on topics like climate change, medical ethics, and technological innovation, drawing on a broad base of knowledge. The influence of teachers in this educational process cannot be overstated. Passionate and knowledgeable educators can ignite a lifelong interest in science and religion, guiding students through complex topics with sensitivity and insight. Peer interactions also play a significant role. Discussions and debates with classmates help students articulate their ideas, consider different perspectives, and develop a deeper understanding of the material. Educational experiences related to science and religion can have long-lasting impacts. Alumni of programs that integrate these subjects often continue to reflect on these issues throughout their lives, influencing their personal and professional choices. Extracurricular activities such as science clubs, debate teams, and religious organizations provide additional opportunities for students to explore these topics. These activities encourage active learning and community engagement. Ultimately, the way students are taught about science and religion shapes their ability to navigate the complex world they inherit. By fostering a balanced and respectful understanding of both domains, educators help prepare students to contribute thoughtfully and ethically to society. The dialogue between theology and science is a rich and ongoing conversation that seeks to explore the connections and tensions between these two fields. This dialogue aims to find common ground, address conflicts, and enhance our understanding of both the natural world and spiritual beliefs. One key aspect of this dialogue is the recognition that both theology and science seek to answer fundamental questions about existence. while science focuses on empirical investigation and the natural laws governing the universe. Theology explores the nature of the divine and the purpose of life. The dialogue often involves examining historical contexts. For instance, the work of early scientists like Galileo and Newton was deeply influenced by their religious beliefs. Understanding these historical intersections helps to clarify how science and theology have evolved together. Philosophical inquiry plays a crucial role in the dialogue. Philosophers of science and religion analyze concepts such as causality, the nature of reality, and the limits of human knowledge. Their work helps bridge the methodological differences between science and theology. Ethical considerations are also central to the dialogue. Advances in fields like genetics, artificial intelligence, and environmental science raise important moral questions. Theological perspectives can provide ethical frameworks that guide the responsible use of scientific knowledge. Cosmology is a particularly fertile ground for dialogue. Theories about the origins and structure of the universe often intersect with theological questions about creation and the nature of time. The Big Bang Theory, for example, can be seen as complementary to certain theological narratives. In the realm of biology, discussions about evolution and creation highlight both conflicts and potential harmonies. Some theologians argue that evolution can be understood as a process guided by divine providence, while others maintain a literal interpretation of religious texts. The problem of evil and suffering is another area where theology and science intersect. Theological perspectives on theodicy, which seek to explain why a benevolent God allows suffering, can be informed by scientific understandings of natural disasters, disease, and human psychology. Neuroscience and the study of consciousness invite dialogue about the nature of the soul and free will. Scientific discoveries about brain function challenge traditional theological views, prompting new interpretations and understandings of spiritual experiences. Environmental stewardship is a growing area of collaboration. Many religious traditions emphasize the moral duty to care for creation, which aligns with scientific efforts to address climate change and biodiversity loss. This shared concern fosters joint initiatives and advocacy. Theological reflection on technology examines the implications of artificial intelligence, biotechnology, and digital media. Questions about human identity, agency, and the future of humanity are explored from both scientific and spiritual perspectives. Interfaith dialogue often includes scientific topics, bringing together diverse religious perspectives. This inclusive approach enriches the conversation, showing that science and theology can transcend cultural and religious boundaries. Educational programs that integrate science and theology promote interdisciplinary learning. Students are encouraged to explore how scientific discoveries can inform theological thought and how religious beliefs can provide ethical guidance for scientific practice. Public discourse benefits from the dialogue between science and theology. Engaging with both fields in media, policy discussions, and community forums helps create a more informed and thoughtful society, capable of addressing complex issues with wisdom and insight. Ultimately, the dialogue between theology and science is not about resolving all differences, but about fostering mutual respect and understanding. By appreciating the contributions of both fields, we can gain a more comprehensive and enriched view of the world and our place within it. The philosophy of science explores the foundations, methods, and implications of science. It addresses questions about what science is, how it works, and the validity of scientific claims. Central to the philosophy of science is the question of what distinguishes science from non-science. This demarcation problem involves defining the criteria that separate scientific inquiry from other forms of knowledge, such as pseudoscience and metaphysics. Empiricism is a key concept in the philosophy of science. It emphasizes the role of observation and experimentation in acquiring knowledge. Empirical evidence is considered crucial for validating scientific theories and hypotheses. Falsifiability, proposed by philosopher Karl Popper, is another important principle. According to Popper, for a theory to be scientific, it must be testable and capable of being proven false. This criterion helps ensure that scientific theories are open to scrutiny and revision. Scientific realism and anti-realism represent two opposing views in the philosophy of science. Realists believe that scientific theories describe the world as it truly is, while anti-realists argue that theories are merely useful instruments for predicting phenomena. without necessarily reflecting reality. The concept of scientific paradigms, introduced by Thomas Kuhn, explores how scientific fields undergo revolutionary changes. Kuhn argued that science progresses through a series of paradigms, frameworks of theories and practices, that are occasionally overturned by paradigm shifts when anomalies challenge the existing model. The underdetermination of theory by evidence is a philosophical issue that highlights how empirical data can be explained by multiple, competing theories. This suggests that scientific theories are not solely determined by observations, but also by theoretical choices and assumptions. The problem of induction, famously articulated by David Hume, questions the justification for generalizing from specific observations to universal laws, since inductive reasoning involves drawing conclusions based on limited evidence. It raises concerns about the certainty of scientific knowledge. The role of models and simulations in science is another area of philosophical inquiry. Models are simplified representations of complex systems used to explain and predict phenomena. Philosophers examine the assumptions, limitations, and explanatory power of these models. Objectivity in science is a central concern. Philosophers explore how biases, values, and social factors influence scientific research. The goal is to understand how science can strive for impartiality while acknowledging the human elements involved in scientific practice. The concept of scientific explanation involves understanding how scientific theories account for phenomena. Different models of explanation, such as causal, deductive nomological, and statistical explanations, offer various ways to make sense of scientific knowledge. The ethics of science examines the moral responsibilities of scientists. This includes issues like research integrity, the treatment of research subjects, and the broader societal impacts of scientific work. Ethical considerations are integral to the responsible conduct of science. Interdisciplinary research in the philosophy of science looks at how different scientific fields interact and integrate. This approach recognizes that complex problems often require insights from multiple disciplines, leading to a more holistic understanding. Philosophers also explore the relationship between science and technology. Technological advancements both influence and are influenced by scientific research. Understanding this dynamic helps clarify the roles and impacts of science and technology in society. Ultimately, the philosophy of science seeks to deepen our understanding of what science is and how it operates. By examining the principles, practices, and implications of science, philosophers contribute to a more reflective and informed approach to scientific inquiry. This ongoing exploration enhances the integrity and effectiveness of science in addressing the world's challenges. Science and spirituality often explore different aspects of human experience, yet they can intersect in meaningful ways. Science seeks to understand the natural world through empirical evidence and rational inquiry. Spirituality, on the other hand, focuses on personal and transcendent experiences that connect individuals to a higher purpose or divine presence. For many, the awe and wonder inspired by scientific discoveries can enhance their spiritual lives. The intricate complexity of the universe, from the vastness of space to the minute details of DNA, can evoke a sense of the sacred and a deeper appreciation for creation. Spiritual practices such as meditation, prayer, and mindfulness can complement scientific endeavors by promoting mental well-being and focus. These practices can enhance creativity and insight, benefiting both personal growth and scientific innovation. Quantum physics, with its counterintuitive principles and mysteries, often draws parallels with spiritual concepts. The interconnectedness and uncertainty at the quantum level resonate with spiritual ideas about the interconnectedness of all life and the mysteries of existence. Many scientists find that their work leads them to profound spiritual questions. The quest to understand the origins of the universe, the nature of consciousness, and the underlying laws of nature often touches on deeply philosophical and spiritual themes. Spirituality can offer ethical guidance for scientific research. Values such as compassion, humility, and respect for life can inform scientific practices and ensure that advancements are pursued responsibly and for the common good. Interfaith dialogues that include scientific perspectives can foster mutual understanding and respect. These conversations allow participants to explore how different spiritual traditions interpret scientific discoveries and integrate them into their worldviews. Personal stories of scientists who maintain a strong spiritual life highlight the compatibility of science and spirituality. These individuals often describe how their scientific work deepens their spiritual understanding and vice versa. The holistic approach to health and well-being recognizes the connection between physical, mental, and spiritual health. Integrating scientific knowledge with spiritual practices can lead to more comprehensive healthcare that addresses all aspects of a person's well-being. Environmental stewardship is an area where science and spirituality often converge. Many spiritual traditions emphasize the sacredness of the earth and the moral responsibility to protect it. This aligns with scientific efforts to understand and mitigate environmental issues. Scientific research into near-death experiences, meditation, and other spiritual phenomena seeks to understand these events in a systematic way. This research can validate spiritual experiences and provide insights into the nature of consciousness and the human mind. Art and music often serve as bridges between science and spirituality. Scientific understanding of acoustics and visual perception can enhance artistic creation, while spiritual themes inspire profound artistic expressions that resonate with both scientific and spiritual audiences. Educational programs that integrate science and spirituality encourage students to explore both realms deeply. These programs foster a sense of wonder and curiosity, encouraging learners to seek knowledge and meaning in all aspects of life. Public discussions about science and spirituality can promote a culture of respect and openness. By acknowledging the value of both scientific inquiry and spiritual exploration, society can benefit from the strengths of both perspectives. Ultimately, science and spirituality, while distinct, are both driven by a quest for understanding and meaning. By embracing both, individuals and communities can develop a richer, more holistic view of the world and our place within it. This integrative approach encourages harmony, fosters innovation, and promotes a deeper connection to the mysteries of existence. The psychology of belief explores how and why people hold certain beliefs, including religious and scientific ones. It examines the cognitive processes, emotional factors, and social influences that shape our convictions. Cognitive psychology studies how mental processes like perception, memory, and reasoning contribute to belief formation. People tend to seek patterns and make connections, which can lead to the development of beliefs even without concrete evidence. Confirmation bias plays a significant role in how beliefs are maintained. This cognitive bias leads individuals to favor information that confirms their pre-existing beliefs, while disregarding or rationalizing away contradictory evidence. Emotional factors are also crucial in the psychology of belief. Emotions can strengthen beliefs, making them more resistant to change. Fear, hope, love, and a sense of belonging can all reinforce religious and spiritual convictions. Social and cultural influences shape beliefs from a young age. Family, community, and societal norms play a significant role in what individuals come to believe. Social validation and group identity can further solidify these beliefs. Belief perseverance is the tendency to hold on to beliefs even when faced with disconfirming evidence. This phenomenon highlights the difficulty of changing deeply held convictions, which are often tied to a person's identity and worldview. Religious beliefs often provide a framework for understanding life's big questions, such as the meaning of life, the nature of good and evil, and what happens after death. These beliefs can offer comfort, purpose, and a sense of order. Scientific beliefs grounded in empirical evidence and the scientific method offer explanations for natural phenomena and the workings of the universe. They are subject to change with new discoveries and evidence, reflecting the dynamic nature of science. Cognitive dissonance occurs when individuals experience tension between conflicting beliefs or between their beliefs and actions. This discomfort can lead to efforts to reduce dissonance by changing beliefs, acquiring new information, or downplaying the inconsistency. The placebo effect demonstrates the power of belief in influencing physical health. Believing in the efficacy of a treatment can lead to real physiological changes, illustrating the profound connection between mind and body. Studies on belief in the supernatural, including ghosts, astrology, and paranormal phenomena, reveal how cultural narratives and personal experiences contribute to these beliefs. Such beliefs often persist, despite a lack of scientific evidence. Religious experiences, such as feelings of transcendence, visions, or a sense of divine presence, can profoundly shape beliefs. These experiences are often cited as direct evidence of spiritual truths and can be transformative. The psychology of belief also examines skepticism and the factors that lead people to question or abandon certain beliefs. Critical thinking, exposure to diverse perspectives, and new evidence can all contribute to a shift in beliefs. Understanding the psychology of belief can foster empathy and dialogue between people with different worldviews. Recognizing the cognitive, emotional, and social underpinnings of beliefs helps in appreciating why others hold their convictions. Ultimately, the psychology of belief reveals the complex interplay of factors that shape our understanding of the world. By studying these processes, we can gain insights into human nature, improve communication, and promote a more thoughtful and compassionate society. Ethical science is the practice of conducting scientific research and applying scientific knowledge in ways that are morally responsible and beneficial to society. It involves considering the potential impacts of scientific work on individuals, communities, and the environment. One of the key principles of ethical science is the commitment to honesty and integrity. Scientists are expected to report their findings accurately, acknowledge the contributions of others, and avoid fabricating or falsifying data. Informed consent is crucial in research involving human participants. This means that participants must be fully informed about the nature of the study, the potential risks and benefits, and their right to withdraw at any time without penalty. Animal research also raises significant ethical questions. Ethical science requires that researchers minimize harm and discomfort to animals, use alternatives whenever possible, and adhere to strict guidelines for the humane treatment of research animals. Environmental ethics in science focuses on the responsibility to protect and preserve the natural world. Scientists must consider the long-term impacts of their work on ecosystems, biodiversity, and climate, and strive to promote sustainability. Privacy and confidentiality are paramount in scientific research, particularly in fields like medicine and genetics. Researchers must protect the personal information of participants and ensure that data is used responsibly and securely. The principle of beneficence guides scientists to conduct research that benefits society. This includes addressing public health challenges, developing technologies that improve quality of life, and contributing to the advancement of knowledge. Justice is another core principle, ensuring that the benefits and burdens of scientific research are distributed fairly. This means avoiding exploitation of vulnerable populations and ensuring that marginalized groups have access to the benefits of scientific advancements. Ethical science also involves transparency and accountability. Scientists should communicate their methods and findings openly, allowing for peer review and public scrutiny. This transparency helps build trust and credibility within the scientific community and with the public. Interdisciplinary collaboration is often necessary to address complex ethical issues in science. Engaging ethicists, sociologists, legal experts, and community representatives can provide diverse perspectives and help ensure that scientific work is conducted responsibly. Education and training in ethics are essential for scientists at all stages of their careers. Institutions should provide resources and guidance to help researchers navigate ethical dilemmas and make informed decisions. Public engagement is a critical component of ethical science. Scientists have a responsibility to communicate their work to the public, listen to societal concerns, and involve communities in discussions about the implications of scientific research. Global collaboration in science must also consider ethical standards across different cultures and regions. Establishing international guidelines and respecting cultural diversity can help promote ethical practices worldwide. Ethical science extends to the application of scientific knowledge in policy and industry. Scientists must advocate for evidence-based policies that protect public health and the environment, and ensure that technological innovations are used for the common good. Ultimately, ethical science is about fostering a culture of responsibility, respect, and integrity in the pursuit of knowledge. By adhering to ethical principles, scientists can contribute to a more just, equitable, and sustainable world. Cosmology is the scientific study of the origin, evolution, and eventual fate of the universe. It seeks to understand the large-scale structure of the cosmos and the fundamental forces that govern it. One of the foundational theories in cosmology is the Big Bang theory. This theory posits that the universe began as a singularity approximately 13.8 billion years ago and has been expanding ever since. The Big Bang theory is supported by multiple lines of evidence, including the cosmic microwave background radiation and the observed redshift of galaxies. The cosmic microwave background radiation is the afterglow of the Big Bang, a faint heat that fills the universe and provides a snapshot of the early cosmos. Its uniformity and slight fluctuations give us clues about the initial conditions and subsequent evolution of the universe. Dark matter is another critical concept in cosmology. Although it does not emit light or energy, dark matter exerts gravitational forces on visible matter. It is thought to make up about 27% of the universe's mass-energy content, playing a crucial role in the formation and structure of galaxies. Dark energy is even more mysterious, making up about 68% of the universe. It is believed to be responsible for the accelerated expansion of the universe, a discovery that has profound implications for our understanding of cosmic fate. The study of black holes has also advanced our knowledge of cosmology. Black holes are regions of space where gravity is so strong that nothing, not even light, can escape. They are formed from the remnants of massive stars and are crucial for understanding general relativity and the behavior of matter under extreme conditions. Galaxies are the building blocks of the universe, each containing billions of stars, planets, and other celestial objects. Cosmologists study the distribution and movement of galaxies to learn about the large-scale structure of the cosmos and the forces shaping it. The concept of the multiverse suggests that our universe might be just one of many universes. This idea, while still speculative, arises from theories in quantum mechanics and cosmology, proposing that different universes could have different physical laws and constants. Cosmologists also explore the question of the universe's ultimate fate. Depending on the balance between dark energy, dark matter, and other forces, the universe could continue expanding indefinitely, collapse in a big crunch, or reach a stable state. The field of cosmology is deeply intertwined with particle physics. Understanding the fundamental particles and forces that govern the universe helps cosmologists develop theories about the early moments after the Big Bang and the conditions that led to the formation of matter. The Hubble Space Telescope and other advanced observatories have revolutionized cosmology. These instruments allow scientists to peer deep into space, observing distant galaxies and cosmic phenomena, thereby providing valuable data to test cosmological theories. Cosmology also touches on philosophical questions about the nature of existence and our place in the universe. The vastness and complexity of the cosmos challenge us to consider the meaning and purpose of life within such an immense and dynamic framework. Cosmological models are continually refined as new data becomes available. The integration of observations from different wavelengths of light, gravitational waves, and particle experiments helps build a more comprehensive picture of the universe. Educational programs and public outreach efforts play a crucial role in cosmology. By sharing discoveries and fostering curiosity, cosmologists help the public appreciate the wonders of the universe and the scientific efforts to understand it. Ultimately, cosmology seeks to answer some of the most profound questions about the nature of reality. Through rigorous scientific inquiry and the relentless pursuit of knowledge, cosmologists aim to unravel the mysteries of the universe and reveal the underlying principles that govern it. Genetics is the study of genes, heredity, and genetic variation in living organisms. It explores how traits are passed from parents to offspring, and how genetic information influences development, physiology, and behavior. The foundation of genetics lies in the work of Gregor Mendel, who discovered the basic principles of heredity through experiments with pea plants. Mendel's laws of inheritance describe how traits are inherited independently and predictably, laying the groundwork for modern genetics. DNA, or deoxyribonucleic acid, is the molecule that carries genetic information in all living organisms. The structure of DNA, a double helix, was discovered by James Watson and Francis Crick in 1953. This discovery revolutionized our understanding of biology and genetics. Genes are segments of DNA that encode instructions for building proteins, which perform various functions in the body. The human genome contains approximately 20,000 to 25,000 genes, and the complete set of genes is known as the genome. Genetic variation is the diversity in gene sequences among individuals within a population. This variation is the result of mutations, genetic recombination, and other processes, and it is crucial for evolution and adaptation. Mutations are changes in the DNA sequence that can affect gene function, While some mutations are harmful or neutral, others can be beneficial and contribute to evolutionary change. Understanding mutations helps scientists study genetic diseases and develop treatments. Genomics is the study of the entire genome of an organism. Advances in DNA sequencing technology have enabled researchers to analyze genomes quickly and accurately, leading to breakthroughs in medicine, agriculture, and evolutionary biology. Genetic engineering involves manipulating an organism's DNA to alter its traits. This technology has applications in medicine, such as gene therapy for treating genetic disorders, and in agriculture, where genetically modified crops can improve yield and resistance to pests. CRISPR-Cas9 is a revolutionary gene editing technology that allows precise modifications to DNA. This tool has opened new possibilities for research and treatment, but it also raises ethical questions about the potential for unintended consequences and the limits of genetic modification. Epigenetics is the study of changes in gene expression that do not involve alterations to the DNA sequence. Environmental factors, such as diet and stress, can influence epigenetic modifications, affecting how genes are turned on or off and impacting health and development. Personalized medicine uses genetic information to tailor medical treatments to individuals. By understanding a patient's genetic makeup, doctors can predict their response to certain medications and develop more effective and personalized treatment plans. Population genetics examines the genetic composition of populations and how it changes over time. This field combines principles of genetics and evolutionary biology to study how forces like natural selection, genetic drift, and gene flow shape genetic diversity. Genetic counseling provides individuals and families with information about genetic conditions and their risks. Counselors help interpret genetic test results, discuss potential health implications, and support informed decision-making regarding health and reproduction. Ethical considerations in genetics include privacy, consent, and the potential for genetic discrimination. As genetic information becomes more accessible, it is crucial to protect individuals' rights and ensure that genetic data is used responsibly and ethically. Ultimately, genetics offers profound insights into the fundamental processes of life. By studying genes and genetic variation, scientists uncover the mechanisms of inheritance, evolution, and development, paving the way for advances in medicine, agriculture, and our understanding of the natural world. Neuroscience is the study of the nervous system, including the brain, spinal cord, and neural networks. It seeks to understand how these complex structures enable thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and bodily functions. The brain is composed of billions of neurons, specialized cells that transmit information through electrical and chemical signals. Neurons communicate at synapses, where neurotransmitters cross the gap between cells, allowing for intricate neural processing. One of the key areas of neuroscience is cognitive neuroscience, which explores how brain activity underlies mental processes, such as perception, memory, language, and decision-making. Techniques like functional MRI and EEG allow scientists to observe brain activity in real time. Neuroplasticity refers to the brain's ability to change and adapt in response to experience. This capacity for reorganization is crucial for learning, recovery from injury, and adapting to new situations. Neuroplasticity underscores the dynamic nature of the brain throughout life. Neurodevelopmental disorders, such as autism spectrum disorder and ADHD, involve atypical brain development. Neuroscientists study these conditions to understand their underlying mechanisms and to develop effective interventions and treatments. Neurological diseases, including Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and multiple sclerosis, result from the degeneration of neurons and neural pathways. Research in neuroscience aims to uncover the causes of these diseases and to find ways to prevent or slow their progression. The study of emotions is another important aspect of neuroscience. The limbic system, which includes structures such as the amygdala and hippocampus, plays a key role in processing emotions and forming memories. Understanding these processes can inform treatments for mood disorders. Neuroscientists also investigate the biological basis of behavior. The brain's reward system, involving neurotransmitters like dopamine, is central to understanding motivation, addiction, and pleasure. This research has implications for treating substance abuse and compulsive behaviors. The field of neuroethics addresses the ethical implications of advances in neuroscience. Issues such as brain enhancement, neuroprivacy, and the use of neuroscience in legal contexts raise important questions about the responsible application of neuroscientific knowledge. Neuroscience research on consciousness seeks to understand how subjective experiences arise from brain activity. This area explores the neural correlates of consciousness and the differences between conscious and unconscious processing. Sleep and circadian rhythms are vital for overall health and cognitive function. Neuroscientists study the mechanisms that regulate sleep and the impact of sleep disorders on the brain and body, highlighting the importance of sleep for well-being. Neuroimaging technologies such as MRI and PET scans have revolutionized our ability to visualize the brain's structure and function. These tools provide insights into brain connectivity, the effects of injury, and the progression of neurological diseases. Neuroscientific studies of learning and memory focus on how information is encoded, stored, and retrieved in the brain. This research informs educational practices and strategies for enhancing cognitive performance and treating memory impairments. The interaction between the nervous system and the immune system, known as neuroimmunology, explores how these systems influence each other. This research is crucial for understanding conditions like multiple sclerosis and the effects of inflammation on brain health. Ultimately, neuroscience seeks to unravel the mysteries of the brain and nervous system. By understanding the mechanisms that underlie neural function, scientists hope to develop new treatments for neurological and psychiatric disorders, improve cognitive health, and deepen our understanding of what it means to be human. Quantum physics is the branch of science that deals with the behavior of matter and energy at the smallest scales, such as atoms and subatomic particles. It reveals a world that is fundamentally different from our everyday experiences. One of the key principles of quantum physics is wave-particle duality. This principle states that particles like electrons and photons exhibit both wave-like and particle-like properties, depending on how they are measured. The Heisenberg uncertainty principle is another cornerstone of quantum physics. It states that it is impossible to simultaneously know both the exact position and momentum of a particle. This introduces a fundamental limit to what can be known about a system. Quantum superposition is the idea that particles can exist in multiple states at once until they are observed. This concept is famously illustrated by Schrödinger's cat thought experiment, where a cat in a box is simultaneously alive and dead until the box is opened. Entanglement is a phenomenon where particles become linked in such a way that the state of one particle instantaneously influences the state of another, no matter how far apart they are. This spooky action at a distance, as Einstein called it, challenges our understanding of locality and causality. Quantum tunneling allows particles to pass through energy barriers that they theoretically shouldn't be able to surmount. This phenomenon is essential in processes like nuclear fusion in stars and the functioning of certain electronic devices. The mathematics of quantum mechanics is described by the Schrödinger equation, which predicts how the quantum state of a physical system changes over time. Solutions to this equation provide probabilities for different outcomes, rather than deterministic predictions. Quantum field theory extends quantum mechanics to fields, like the electromagnetic field, and forms the basis for understanding particle physics. It combines quantum mechanics with special relativity and has led to the development of the Standard Model of particle physics. The Standard Model describes the fundamental particles and their interactions, excluding gravity. It includes quarks, leptons, and force-carrying particles like photons and gluons. Despite its successes, the model does not explain everything, leaving room for new discoveries. Quantum computing is an emerging field that leverages quantum superposition and entanglement to process information in ways classical computers cannot. Quantum computers have the potential to solve complex problems much faster than their classical counterparts. Quantum cryptography uses principles of quantum mechanics to create secure communication channels. It offers theoretically unbreakable encryption, as any attempt to eavesdrop on the communication would disturb the quantum states and be detectable. Experiments like the double-slit experiment highlight the strange behavior of particles in the quantum realm. When particles pass through two slits, they create an interference pattern typical of waves, suggesting that each particle interferes with itself. Quantum mechanics also has profound philosophical implications. It challenges classical notions of reality, determinism, and locality, leading to debates about the nature of reality and the role of the observer in the measurement process. The quest to reconcile quantum mechanics with general relativity has led to the search for a theory of quantum gravity. String theory and loop quantum gravity are among the leading candidates, but a complete and consistent theory remains elusive. Quantum physics continues to push the boundaries of our understanding of the universe. By probing the behavior of matter and energy at the smallest scales, it reveals the fundamental principles that govern the cosmos, inspiring new technologies and deeper philosophical questions. Environmental science is the study of how natural and human-made environments interact and the impacts of human activity on the planet. It combines aspects of biology, chemistry, physics, and earth science to understand and address environmental challenges. One of the primary concerns of environmental science is climate change. This phenomenon, driven largely by the increase in greenhouse gases from burning fossil fuels, is causing global temperatures to rise, leading to widespread ecological and social impacts. Scientists use climate models to predict future climate changes and their potential effects. These models take into account various factors, such as greenhouse gas emissions, land use changes, and solar radiation, to forecast changes in temperature, precipitation, and sea levels. Deforestation is another critical issue in environmental science. The clearing of forest for agriculture, logging, and development reduces biodiversity, disrupts ecosystems, and contributes to carbon emissions. Protecting and restoring forests is essential for maintaining ecological balance. Water pollution caused by industrial waste, agricultural runoff, and improper waste disposal poses significant risks to human health and aquatic life. Environmental scientists study the sources and effects of pollutants and develop strategies to clean and protect water resources. Air pollution, resulting from vehicle emissions, industrial activities, and burning fossil fuels, affects air quality and human health. Environmental science seeks to understand the sources of air pollutants and implement policies to reduce emissions and improve air quality. Biodiversity loss is a major concern, as species extinction rates have accelerated due to habitat destruction, climate change, pollution, and overexploitation. Preserving biodiversity is crucial for ecosystem stability, resilience, and the overall health of the planet. Environmental scientists also focus on waste management and recycling. Proper disposal and recycling of materials reduce the environmental impact of waste, conserve natural resources, and decrease pollution. Innovative approaches to waste management are continuously being developed. Sustainable agriculture is vital for feeding the growing global population while minimizing environmental damage. Practices such as crop rotation, organic farming, and precision agriculture help maintain soil health, reduce chemical use, and protect natural ecosystems. Renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and hydroelectric power are critical for reducing reliance on fossil fuels and mitigating climate change. Environmental scientists research and develop technologies to harness these energy sources more efficiently and sustainably. Conservation biology aims to protect species and their habitats through strategies like protected areas, wildlife corridors, and restoration projects. Conservation efforts help maintain ecosystem services and preserve the natural heritage for future generations. Environmental policy and regulation play a crucial role in addressing environmental issues. Governments and organizations create and enforce laws and agreements to protect natural resources, reduce pollution, and promote sustainability. Public awareness and education are essential components of environmental science. By informing and engaging the public about environmental issues, scientists and educators can foster a culture of sustainability and encourage positive environmental behaviors. Environmental justice addresses the disproportionate impact of environmental hazards on marginalized communities. Efforts to ensure fair treatment and involvement of all people in environmental decision-making are critical for achieving equitable and sustainable outcomes. Ultimately, environmental science seeks to understand and solve complex environmental problems to ensure a sustainable future for all life on Earth. By integrating scientific knowledge with practical solutions, environmental scientists work to protect the planet and promote the well-being of current and future generations. The Vatican and the Catholic Church have long played a significant role in the intersection of science and religion. As the spiritual and administrative center of the Roman Catholic Church, the Vatican has influenced religious thought and practice for centuries. Historically, the Catholic Church has had a complex relationship with science. During the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, the Church was a major patron of scientific research, supporting scholars and the establishment of universities. Many early scientists, such as Copernicus and Galileo, were deeply influenced by their faith. Galileo's conflict with the Church is one of the most famous examples of the tension between science and religion. His support for the heliocentric model, which placed the Sun at the center of the solar system, contradicted the geocentric view endorsed by the Church. This led to his trial and house arrest, but it also sparked important discussions about the relationship between faith and reason. In more recent times, the Catholic Church has shown greater openness to scientific discoveries. Pope Pius X, in his 1950 encyclical Humani Generis, acknowledged that evolution could be compatible with Catholic doctrine, provided that it allowed for the divine creation of the human soul. Pope John Paul II further advanced this dialogue in 1996, when he stated that evolution is more than a hypothesis and is widely accepted by researchers as a significant theory for understanding biological development. This recognition marked a significant shift in the Church's approach to scientific theories. The Pontifical Academy of Sciences, established in 1936, is an example of the Vatican's commitment to engaging with the scientific community. This academy brings together leading scientists from around the world, regardless of their religious beliefs, to address important scientific and ethical issues. Pope Francis has continued this tradition of engagement with science. His 2015 encyclical Laudato Si addresses the urgent need for environmental stewardship and calls for a collective effort to combat climate change. The encyclical emphasizes the moral responsibility to protect the environment for future generations. The Vatican Observatory, one of the oldest astronomical research institutions in the world, reflects the Church's long-standing interest in the cosmos. Operated by Jesuit priests, the observatory conducts scientific research and fosters dialogue between science and faith. Catholic educational institutions, including universities and schools, play a crucial role in integrating science and religion. These institutions aim to provide a comprehensive education that respects both scientific inquiry and religious tradition, fostering a balanced understanding of the world. The Church's teachings on bioethics are another area where science and religion intersect. The Vatican has taken strong positions on issues such as stem cell research, cloning, and end-of-life care, advocating for the protection of human dignity and the sanctity of life. The Catholic Church's social teachings emphasize the importance of social justice, care for the poor, and the common good. These principles often align with scientific efforts to address global challenges such as poverty, disease, and environmental degradation. Interfaith dialogue is an important aspect of the Vatican's approach to science and religion. By engaging with other religious traditions and the scientific community, the Church seeks to promote mutual understanding and address shared concerns. The relationship between the Vatican and the scientific community is characterized by a recognition of the value of both faith and reason. The Church acknowledges the importance of scientific discoveries while also maintaining its spiritual and ethical teachings. Pope Benedict XVI emphasized the need for a harmonious relationship between science and faith. He argued that both realms seek truth and can complement each other, with science providing insights into the natural world and faith offering a deeper understanding of human existence and purpose. The Vatican's ongoing engagement with science demonstrates a commitment to fostering a dialogue that respects both scientific knowledge and religious belief. By exploring the intersections of these fields, the Church aims to contribute to a more comprehensive and humane understanding of the world and our place within it. Protestant denominations encompass a diverse range of beliefs and practices, each with its own approach to the relationship between science and religion. This diversity reflects the broader Protestant emphasis on individual interpretation of the Scriptures and the autonomy of local congregations. Lutheranism, founded by Martin Luther, traditionally supports the compatibility of science and faith. Lutherans generally accept scientific explanations for natural phenomena, including evolution, viewing them as ways to understand God's creation more fully. Calvinism, based on the teachings of John Calvin, also tends to support scientific inquiry. Calvinists believe in the sovereignty of God over all aspects of life, including the natural world. Many Calvinist scholars have contributed significantly to scientific advancements throughout history. The Anglican Communion, which includes the Episcopal Church in the United States, often emphasizes the compatibility of science and faith. Anglicans generally support scientific explanations for the origins and development of life and view the study of nature as a way to appreciate God's creation. Methodism, founded by promotes the idea that reason and faith coexist. Methodists often support scientific education and inquiry, seeing science as a tool to understand the complexities of the natural world and the intricacies of God's creation. Baptist denominations vary widely in their approach to science. While some Baptists embrace scientific explanations, including evolution, others adhere to a literal interpretation of the Bible, rejecting scientific theories that conflict with their religious beliefs. Presbyterianism, rooted in the Reformed tradition, generally supports the integration of science and faith. Presbyterians often engage with scientific findings and promote dialogue between scientific and theological perspectives, believing that both can offer valuable insights. The United Church of Christ is known for its progressive stance on many issues, including the acceptance of scientific theories. This denomination encourages the exploration of scientific knowledge and its implications for understanding faith and the natural world. Pentecostal and charismatic movements often emphasize spiritual experiences and the direct action of the Holy Spirit in the world. Views on science within these movements can vary, with some adherents supporting scientific inquiry and others focusing more on supernatural explanations. The Seventh-day Adventist Church, while upholding the literal interpretation of the Bible, particularly regarding creation, also values health and scientific research. Adventists have a strong tradition of promoting healthy living and medical research, blending their faith with practical health sciences. The Quakers, or Religious Society of Friends, often embrace a harmonious relationship between science and spirituality. Quakers emphasize inner experience and personal revelation, but they also value scientific inquiry as a means to understand the world and promote social justice. The Unitarian Universalist Association is notable for its strong support of science and reason. This denomination encourages open inquiry and the integration of scientific knowledge with spiritual exploration, advocating for a broad and inclusive approach to understanding truth. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, commonly known as the Mormon Church, has a complex relationship with science. While the Church emphasizes divine creation, it also supports scientific education and research, believing that scientific discoveries can complement their faith. The Evangelical Lutheran Church in America promotes a positive relationship between science and faith. This denomination supports scientific research and education, viewing the study of the natural world as a way to deepen understanding and appreciation of God's creation. Overall, Protestant denominations exhibit a wide range of approaches to science and religion. This diversity reflects their varied theological foundations and interpretations of Scripture, fostering a rich dialogue about how to integrate faith with scientific understanding. Through this dialogue, Protestant communities contribute to the broader conversation about the role of science and religion in modern society. Eastern religions encompass a broad range of beliefs and practices, each offering unique perspectives on the relationship between science and spirituality. These traditions include Hinduism, Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism, among others. Hinduism, one of the world's oldest religions, embraces a rich tapestry of philosophical and spiritual teachings. Hindu thought often sees no conflict between science and spirituality, viewing scientific discoveries as further revelations of the divine order of the universe. In Hinduism, the concept of dharma encompasses both natural laws and moral principles, suggesting an inherent unity between the physical and spiritual worlds. The sacred texts of Hinduism, like the Vedas and Upanishads, explore cosmology and the nature of reality in ways that resonate with scientific inquiry. Buddhism focuses on the nature of suffering, the path to enlightenment, and the interdependence of all things. Many Buddhists find that the principles of mindfulness and meditation align well with scientific studies on mental health and well-being. The Dalai Lama, a prominent Buddhist leader, has actively engaged with scientists to explore the intersections of Buddhism and modern science. This dialogue has led to collaborative research in areas such as neuroscience, psychology, and the effects of meditation on the brain. Taoism emphasizes living in harmony with the Tao, the fundamental principle that is the source of all existence. Taoist thought often aligns with scientific principles of balance and natural order, promoting a holistic understanding of life and the universe. Taoist practices, such as Tai Chi and Qigong, are studied for their health benefits and their ability to enhance physical and mental well-being. These practices demonstrate the integration of spiritual and physical disciplines, resonating with scientific explorations of holistic health. Confucianism, with its focus on ethics, social harmony, and moral development, contributes to the dialogue on science and spirituality by emphasizing the importance of ethical behavior and societal well-being. Confucian principles can inform ethical considerations in scientific research and technological development. In Japan, Shintoism and Buddhism often coexist, influencing cultural attitudes towards nature and science. Shintoism, with its reverence for nature and the divine presence in all things, fosters a deep respect for the natural world that complements scientific environmentalism. Jainism, another ancient Indian religion, emphasizes non-violence, truth, and asceticism. Jain ethical principles, such as ahimsa, non-violence, have implications for scientific research, particularly in areas related to animal welfare and environmental conservation. Eastern religions often incorporate holistic approaches to health and medicine, integrating traditional practices with modern scientific understanding. This integrative approach highlights the potential for complementary relationships between ancient wisdom and contemporary science. Yoga, with roots in Hindu philosophy, has gained worldwide recognition for its physical, mental, and spiritual benefits. Scientific studies on yoga support its effectiveness in reducing stress, improving physical health, and enhancing mental clarity, illustrating the synergy between spiritual practice and scientific validation. Eastern philosophies frequently emphasize the interconnectedness of all life, a concept that resonates with ecological science. This worldview supports the idea that environmental sustainability is a moral imperative, aligning spiritual values with scientific efforts to protect the planet. The emphasis on mindfulness and meditation in Eastern traditions has led to extensive scientific research on these practices. Studies show that mindfulness and meditation can reduce stress, improve cognitive function, and promote emotional well-being, bridging spiritual practices with psychological science. Eastern religions also offer perspectives on the nature of consciousness and reality that intrigue and inspire scientific exploration. The Buddhist concept of anatta, or no self, challenges notions of individual identity and aligns with certain interpretations in cognitive science and quantum physics. Overall, Eastern religions contribute rich philosophical and spiritual insights that complement scientific understanding. By exploring these intersections, practitioners and scholars can develop a more holistic view of reality, integrating spiritual wisdom with scientific knowledge to address the complex challenges of the modern world. Islam and science have a long and intertwined history, with significant contributions to various fields of knowledge. The Islamic Golden Age, roughly spanning from the 8th to the 14th century, was a period of remarkable advancements in science, medicine, mathematics, and philosophy. During this time, Muslim scholars made groundbreaking contributions that laid the foundations for modern science. Figures like Al-Khwarizmi, known as the father of algebra, developed mathematical concepts that are still in use today. His work in algorithms influenced the development of computer science. In the field of medicine, scholars like Avicenna, also known as Ibn Sina, wrote the Canon of Medicine, a comprehensive medical encyclopedia that was used in Europe and the Islamic world for centuries. His contributions to medical knowledge and practices were pivotal in the development of modern medicine. Astronomy was another area where Muslim scientists excelled. Al-Battani and Al-Sufi made significant advancements in the understanding of celestial bodies and developed astronomical tables that improved navigation and timekeeping. The preservation and translation of ancient Greek, Persian, and Indian texts by Islamic scholars played a crucial role in the transmission of knowledge to the Western world. This intellectual tradition helped spark the European Renaissance. Islamic teachings emphasize the pursuit of knowledge and understanding of the natural world as a form of worship. The Quran encourages reflection on the signs of creation, which many interpret as a call to scientific inquiry and discovery. Contemporary Muslim scholars and scientists continue to explore the relationship between Islam and science. They often seek to harmonize religious beliefs with scientific understanding, emphasizing that the two can complement and enrich each other. Islamic bioethics addresses modern scientific issues, such as genetic engineering, cloning, and organ transplantation. These discussions often draw on principles from the Quran and Hadith, as well as the rich tradition of Islamic jurisprudence, to navigate ethical dilemmas. Environmental stewardship is another important aspect of the dialogue between Islam and science. Islamic teachings on the stewardship of the earth resonate with contemporary environmental science, promoting sustainability and conservation. The principle of Tawhid, or the oneness of God, underscores the interconnectedness of all creation. This concept aligns with scientific perspectives on the interdependence of ecosystems and the need for holistic approaches to environmental and health issues. Islamic architecture and engineering reflect the integration of scientific principles with artistic expression. The design of mosques, gardens, and urban planning during the Islamic Golden Age showcases sophisticated understanding of mathematics, astronomy, and engineering. Modern educational institutions in the Muslim world and beyond continue to advance scientific research and education. Universities such as Al-Azhar in Egypt and institutions in Malaysia and Turkey are prominent centers of learning that contribute to global scientific discourse. The participation of Muslim scientists in international research communities demonstrates the ongoing contributions of Islamic culture to science. These scientists work across various disciplines, from physics and chemistry to medicine and environmental science. Public engagement and science communication are important in promoting scientific literacy within Muslim communities. Initiatives that highlight the contributions of Muslim scientists and explore the compatibility of Islam and science help foster a culture of curiosity and innovation. Ultimately, the relationship between Islam and science is one of mutual enrichment. By embracing the principles of inquiry and reflection embedded in Islamic teachings, Muslim scholars and scientists continue to contribute to the global pursuit of knowledge and understanding. This ongoing dialogue not only honors the legacy of the Islamic Golden Age, but also builds a foundation for future advancements. New religious movements, often referred to as NRMs, have emerged over the past century, offering unique perspectives on spirituality and often incorporating elements of science and technology. These movements provide fresh interpretations of religious themes and address contemporary issues in innovative ways. One notable example is the Church of Scientology, founded by L. Ron Hubbard in the 1950s. Scientology combines elements of psychology and self-help with religious teachings. Its use of a process called auditing, which aims to clear individuals of negative influences, reflects an interest in mental health and personal development. The Baha'i faith, founded in the 19th century by Baha'u'llah, emphasizes the unity of all religions and the harmony of science and religion. Baha'is believe that religious truth is progressively revealed, and that science and religion are complementary ways of understanding the world. Realism, founded by Claude Vorilhon, known as Rael, teaches that life on Earth was created by advanced extraterrestrial beings called Elohim. Realism embraces scientific progress and advocates for human cloning and other advanced technologies as part of its vision for the future. The New Age movement is a broad and diverse collection of beliefs and practices that emerged in the late 20th century. It often incorporates elements of Eastern spirituality, holistic health, and quantum physics, seeking to integrate spiritual growth with scientific understanding. Falun Gong, also known as Falun Dafa, combines meditation, moral teachings, and Qigong exercises. Founded by Li Hongzhi in the 1990s, it emphasizes the cultivation of truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance, and it often addresses issues related to health and spiritual well-being. The Temple of the Jedi Order, inspired by the fictional Jedi Knights from the Star Wars franchise, promotes a spiritual philosophy based on the virtues depicted in the films. Jediism emphasizes peace, knowledge, and harmony with the Force, drawing on both fictional and real-world philosophical traditions. Wicca, a modern pagan religion, focuses on the worship of nature and the practice of witchcraft. Founded in the mid-20th century, Wicca often incorporates ecological concerns and reverence for the earth, aligning with contemporary environmental science. The Nation of Islam, founded in the 1930s, combines elements of traditional Islam with black nationalist ideologies. It addresses social justice issues and promotes self-reliance, education, and economic empowerment within the African American community. The Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, or Pastafarianism, began as a satirical response to the teaching of intelligent design in schools. It uses humor to critique the inclusion of religious beliefs in scientific education, promoting a secular approach to science and education. The Unification Church, founded by Sun Myung Moon, emphasizes the importance of family, spiritual growth, and world peace. It incorporates aspects of Christianity with unique theological perspectives, often engaging in social and political activism. The Order of the Solar Temple, a secret society founded in the 1980s, combined elements of Christianity, New Age philosophy, and conspiracy theories. Though controversial and ultimately tragic, it reflected the blending of spiritual and esoteric beliefs characteristic of some NRMs. Ekankar, founded by Paul Twitchell, teaches spiritual exercises designed to enable soul travel and direct personal experiences with the divine. It draws on various religious traditions and emphasizes personal spiritual experiences as a path to enlightenment. Druze, a monotheistic religion that emerged in the 11th century, combines elements of Islam, Gnosticism, and Greek philosophy. While not a new movement in the strictest sense, it continues to adapt and integrate modern scientific and philosophical ideas. The Church of the Subgenius, founded as a parody religion, critiques organised religion and modern society through satire. It reflects a countercultural approach that uses humor and absurdity to question societal norms and promote free thinking. These new religious movements reflect the diverse ways in which people seek to understand their existence and address the challenges of modern life. By incorporating elements of science, technology, and contemporary issues, NRMs offer innovative and often controversial perspectives on spirituality and the human experience. There are many areas of agreement between science and religion, where both fields contribute to a deeper understanding of the world. These shared spaces highlight the potential for harmony and mutual enrichment. One area of agreement is the pursuit of truth. Both science and religion seek to understand the nature of reality, each using different methodologies. Science relies on empirical evidence and experimentation, while religion often focuses on spiritual insight and revelation. Both science and religion emphasize the importance of wonder and curiosity. Scientific exploration of the universe can inspire a sense of awe and reverence, while religious traditions often cultivate a similar sense of wonder about creation and the divine. Ethical principles are another common ground. Both science and religion advocate for values such as honesty, integrity, and the importance of doing good. Ethical guidelines in scientific research often align with moral teachings found in religious traditions. Environmental stewardship is a significant area of agreement. Many religious traditions teach the importance of caring for the earth, which aligns with scientific efforts to address climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution. The promotion of human well-being is a shared goal. Advances in medical science and technology aim to improve health and quality of life, a goal that resonates with religious teachings on compassion, healing, and caring for others. Education and the pursuit of knowledge are valued by both science and religion. Many religious institutions support educational initiatives and scientific research, recognizing the importance of knowledge in advancing human progress and understanding. Both science and religion can contribute to discussions on bioethics. Issues such as genetic engineering, reproductive technology, and end-of-life care benefit from the insights of both fields, combining scientific knowledge with ethical and moral considerations. Human dignity and the sanctity of life are core principles in many religious teachings, which complement scientific efforts to protect and enhance human life through advancements in healthcare, safety, and technology. Social justice is another area where science and religion often converge. Addressing issues like poverty, inequality, and access to resources requires both scientific solutions and ethical commitments, reflecting the shared concern for human welfare. Interfaith and interdisciplinary dialogues often find common ground in the desire to promote peace and understanding. By working together, religious and scientific communities can address global challenges and foster a more just and compassionate world. The integration of spiritual practices and mental health is an area of growing interest. Research shows that practices such as meditation, mindfulness, and prayer can have significant psychological benefits, reflecting a convergence of spiritual wisdom and scientific understanding. Many religious traditions support scientific inquiry and innovation, seeing them as ways to fulfill the human potential given by the divine. This perspective encourages collaboration and respect between scientific and religious communities. Science and religion can work together in disaster relief and humanitarian efforts. Both fields contribute essential skills and resources, with science providing technological and logistical support, and religion offering moral guidance and community mobilization. The shared commitment to community and family values is another point of agreement. Both science and religion recognize the importance of strong, supportive relationships in fostering individual and societal well-being. Ultimately, areas of agreement between science and religion demonstrate that these fields are not necessarily in conflict, but can complement and enhance each other. By focusing on shared goals and values, science and religion can work together to address the complex challenges of our time and contribute to a more understanding and harmonious world. Science and religion can play complementary roles in enhancing our understanding of the world and improving human life. Each offers unique insights and methodologies that, when combined, provide a fuller picture of reality. Science excels at explaining how things work. Through observation, experimentation, and analysis, science uncovers the mechanisms of nature, from the smallest particles to the vastness of the cosmos. It provides practical solutions to problems and drives technological innovation. Religion, on the other hand, addresses why things matter. It offers frameworks for understanding purpose, meaning, and values. Religion helps people navigate life's challenges, find a sense of belonging, and connect with something greater than themselves. Together, science and religion can address both the practical and existential aspects of human existence. While science answers questions about the physical world, religion explores the moral and spiritual dimensions, guiding how we use scientific knowledge. In healthcare, this complementarity is evident. Medical science focuses on diagnosing and treating diseases, developing new therapies, and understanding the human body. Religion provides comfort, hope, and ethical guidance, helping patients and healthcare providers cope with illness and make difficult decisions. Environmental sustainability benefits from the partnership between science and religion. Scientific research identifies environmental issues and develops strategies for conservation. Religious teachings often emphasize stewardship of the earth, motivating communities to adopt sustainable practices. Education systems can integrate scientific and religious perspectives to foster well-rounded individuals. Science education encourages critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Religious education nurtures ethical development, empathy, and a sense of purpose. In social justice work, science provides data and tools to address inequality and improve living conditions. Religion inspires action through its emphasis on compassion, justice, and the inherent dignity of every person. Together, they can drive meaningful change. Disaster response and humanitarian aid illustrate how science and religion can collaborate effectively. Science offers expertise in logistics, medicine, and technology. Religion mobilizes volunteers, provides emotional and spiritual support, and sustains long-term community rebuilding efforts. The exploration of consciousness and the mind is enriched by both scientific and religious insights. Neuroscience and psychology study the brain and behavior, revealing the mechanics of mental processes. Religion and spirituality explore the inner life, offering practices that promote mental and emotional well-being. Interfaith dialogues that include scientific perspectives foster greater understanding and cooperation among diverse communities. These conversations can build bridges, reduce conflict, and promote peace by highlighting common goals and shared values. Ethical discussions on emerging technologies benefit from the complementary roles of science and religion. As science pushes the boundaries of what is possible, religion provides ethical frameworks to ensure that new technologies are used responsibly and for the greater good. In personal development, science helps individuals understand their physical and mental health, while religion offers pathways for spiritual growth and moral living. This holistic approach supports overall well-being and fulfillment. Science and religion together can inspire awe and wonder about the universe. Scientific discoveries about the cosmos, life, and nature reveal the complexity and beauty of creation. Religion helps people find deeper meaning and connection in these discoveries. Public policy can be more effective when it incorporates both scientific evidence and ethical considerations. Science informs policymakers about the realities and potential outcomes of decisions. Religion provides moral guidance to ensure policies are just and humane. Ultimately, science and religion, when viewed as complementary rather than conflicting, can work together to enhance human knowledge, address global challenges, and enrich the human experience. By recognizing and valuing their respective contributions, society can benefit from a more integrated and holistic approach to understanding and improving the world. Integration models provide frameworks for understanding how science and religion can coexist and complement each other. These models explore different ways to integrate scientific and religious perspectives, promoting harmony and mutual enrichment. One integration model is the conflict model, which views science and religion as fundamentally incompatible. This model emphasizes the areas where scientific findings and religious beliefs seem to contradict each other, leading to a perceived ongoing conflict. The independence model suggests that science and religion operate in separate domains and address different types of questions. Science focuses on empirical, testable phenomena, while religion deals with moral, spiritual, and existential matters. This model advocates for mutual respect without interference. The dialogue model promotes open communication between science and religion. This approach encourages discussions about areas of overlap and difference, fostering mutual understanding and respect. Through dialogue, both fields can learn from each other and address complex questions together. The integration model goes a step further by actively seeking ways to combine scientific and religious insights. This approach looks for ways in which scientific findings can enrich religious understanding and how religious beliefs can provide ethical guidance for scientific practices. One example of integration is the concept of theistic evolution. This view accepts the scientific theory of evolution while also believing that this process is guided by a divine creator. It reconciles religious beliefs in creation with scientific evidence of natural selection and common descent. Process theology is another integration model that views God as working through natural processes. It emphasizes the dynamic and evolving nature of creation, aligning with scientific understandings of an ever-changing universe. Ethical frameworks derived from religious traditions can inform scientific practices, ensuring that advancements are pursued responsibly. For example, principles of compassion and justice can guide biomedical research, environmental conservation, and technological development. Educational institutions can adopt integration models to teach students about both science and religion. Interdisciplinary courses can explore how scientific discoveries and religious beliefs intersect, fostering a well-rounded understanding of the world. Research programs that incorporate both scientific and theological perspectives can address questions about the nature of consciousness, the origins of the universe, and the ethics of emerging technologies. These programs demonstrate the potential for productive collaboration. Public policy can benefit from integration models by considering both scientific evidence and religious values. Policies on healthcare, environmental protection, and education can be more effective and inclusive when they integrate diverse perspectives. Integration models also support personal development by helping individuals navigate their own beliefs and understandings. People can find ways to harmonize their scientific knowledge with their spiritual practices, leading to a more coherent worldview. Interfaith initiatives that include scientific perspectives can promote peace and cooperation among different religious communities. These efforts can highlight common goals, such as social justice and environmental stewardship, and show how science and religion can work together. Communities of faith can embrace integration models to address contemporary challenges. By engaging with scientific knowledge, religious communities can respond more effectively to issues like climate change, public health crises, and technological advancements. Ultimately, integration models highlight the potential for science and religion to complement and enrich each other. By fostering open dialogue, mutual respect, and collaborative efforts, these models can help create a more integrated and harmonious understanding of reality. This approach encourages a holistic perspective that values both scientific inquiry and spiritual wisdom, contributing to a more just and compassionate world. Conflict resolution between science and religion involves addressing misunderstandings, finding common ground, and fostering dialogue. By acknowledging the contributions of both fields, we can work towards harmony and mutual respect. One approach to resolving conflicts is to educate people about the nature and limits of both science and religion. Science focuses on empirical evidence and testable hypotheses, while religion addresses moral, spiritual, and existential questions. Understanding these distinctions helps clarify their respective roles. Creating forums for dialogue is essential. Conferences, workshops, and discussion groups that include scientists, theologians, and laypeople can facilitate open communication. These spaces allow for the exchange of ideas and the addressing of misunderstandings. Highlighting historical examples of collaboration can also aid conflict resolution. The contributions of religious scientists like Gregor Mendel and Georges Lemaitre show that faith and science can coexist and even complement each other. Encouraging respect for different perspectives is crucial. Acknowledging that people come from diverse backgrounds with varying beliefs fosters a culture of respect and reduces polarization. This respect is foundational for productive dialogue. Addressing specific contentious issues head-on can help resolve conflicts. For instance, debates over evolution versus creationism can benefit from presenting evolutionary theory alongside religious interpretations that see no contradiction between faith and science. Promoting interdisciplinary education can bridge gaps. Curricula that integrate scientific and religious studies help students appreciate the value of both perspectives. This holistic education fosters critical thinking and open-mindedness. Engaging with ethical issues collaboratively can also resolve conflicts. Scientists and religious leaders can work together on bioethical issues, environmental sustainability, and social justice, drawing on both scientific knowledge and moral guidance. Recognizing common goals is another effective strategy. Both science and religion often seek to improve human well-being, promote justice, and protect the environment. Focusing on these shared objectives can unite diverse groups. Media representation plays a role in conflict resolution. Accurate and balanced portrayals of science and religion in media can reduce stereotypes and promote understanding. Highlighting stories of cooperation and mutual respect can inspire others. Supporting research that explores the intersection of science and religion can provide valuable insights. Studies in fields like neurotheology and the psychology of belief can reveal how these domains influence each other and contribute to human understanding. Public policies that respect both scientific evidence and religious values can help resolve conflicts. Inclusive policies that consider the needs and beliefs of all community members promote social harmony and cooperation. Personal stories and testimonials can be powerful tools for conflict resolution. Individuals who have found ways to integrate their scientific knowledge with their religious beliefs can serve as role models, showing that reconciliation is possible. Encouraging humility in both scientists and religious leaders is essential. Recognizing the limits of one's own knowledge and being open to learning from others fosters a culture of mutual respect and continuous growth. Ultimately, conflict resolution between science and religion requires ongoing effort and commitment. By fostering dialogue, respect, and collaboration, we can build a more inclusive and harmonious world where both scientific inquiry and religious belief are valued. This approach not only resolves conflicts but also enriches our collective understanding and enhances our capacity to address the complex challenges of our time. The future prospects for the relationship between science and religion are both challenging and promising. As we advance technologically and scientifically, the dialogue between these fields will become increasingly important. One key prospect is the continued integration of ethical considerations into scientific research. As we explore new frontiers like artificial intelligence and genetic engineering, religious and ethical perspectives will be crucial in guiding responsible innovation. Advancements in neuroscience and psychology will likely deepen our understanding of consciousness and spiritual experiences. This could lead to new insights into the nature of the mind and the connections between mental health and spirituality. Climate change and environmental sustainability will remain pressing issues where science and religion can collaborate. Religious leaders and scientists can work together to promote stewardship of the earth and advocate for policies that protect the environment. The exploration of space and the potential discovery of extraterrestrial life will raise profound questions about humanity's place in the universe. Both scientific and religious communities will need to address the theological and philosophical implications of such discoveries. In education, interdisciplinary approaches will become more prevalent. Integrating scientific and religious studies in curricula will help students develop a comprehensive understanding of the world, fostering critical thinking and mutual respect. Public health initiatives will continue to benefit from the collaboration between science and religion. Addressing global health challenges, such as pandemics, will require the combined efforts of medical science and the ethical guidance provided by religious traditions. Technological advancements in communication will facilitate more global and inclusive dialogues between scientific and religious communities. These conversations will help bridge cultural and ideological divides, promoting a more unified approach to global challenges. The development of new philosophical and theological frameworks will help reconcile scientific discoveries with religious beliefs. Scholars will continue to explore how concepts like quantum mechanics and cosmology intersect with spiritual teachings. Ethical considerations in biotechnology, such as cloning and stem cell research, will require ongoing dialogue. Science and religion can work together to ensure that these technologies are used in ways that respect human dignity and ethical principles. The role of artificial intelligence in society will prompt discussions about morality, free will, and the nature of consciousness. Religious and ethical perspectives will be essential in shaping the development and implementation of AI technologies. Interfaith collaborations will become more common, addressing shared concerns and promoting peace and understanding. By working together on social justice issues, religious communities can leverage scientific knowledge to create more equitable societies. Personalized medicine, driven by advancements in genetics, will raise ethical questions about privacy, consent, and accessibility. Integrating scientific progress with religious ethics will help address these challenges and ensure fair access to healthcare. Environmental ethics will grow in importance as we face the consequences of climate change. Religious teachings on stewardship and respect for creation will support scientific efforts to promote sustainability and protect natural resources. Ultimately, the future prospects for science and religion depend on our willingness to engage in open, respectful dialogue. By embracing both scientific inquiry and spiritual wisdom, we can address the complex challenges of our time and create a more harmonious world. As we move forward, the collaboration between science and religion will not only enrich our understanding, but also help us build a future that values both knowledge and compassion. This integrated approach will be essential for fostering a just, sustainable, and enlightened global society. In this video, we explored the multifaceted relationship between science and religion, delving into their historical interactions, key figures, and various perspectives. We began by examining the roots of this dialogue in ancient civilizations and traced its development through the Middle Ages and the Enlightenment period. This historical context set the stage for understanding how these fields have influenced and challenged each other over centuries. We then highlighted the contributions of influential figures like Galileo Galilei, Charles Darwin, and Albert Einstein, who navigated the complex interplay between their scientific discoveries and religious beliefs. These individuals demonstrated that science and religion, while sometimes in conflict, can also coexist and enrich each other. Next, we discussed the epistemological foundations of both science and religion, comparing rationalism with faith, and exploring metaphysical assumptions and ethical implications. This comparison underscored the complementary roles these fields play in shaping human understanding and morality. Our journey also took us through various modern perspectives, from the Big Bang Theory to debates on evolution and creationism, and the study of consciousness and the soul. These topics illustrated how scientific and religious viewpoints can intersect and provide diverse insights into fundamental questions about existence and life. We examined the role of education, from public school curricula to university courses, in fostering an integrated understanding of science and religion. By highlighting how textbooks, resources, and teaching approaches can influence students' perceptions, we emphasized the importance of balanced education in promoting informed dialogue. Furthermore, we explored how new religious movements and different religious traditions, including Protestant denominations and Eastern religions, approach the relationship between science and faith. These diverse perspectives demonstrate the rich tapestry of beliefs and practices that contribute to the ongoing conversation between these fields. Finally, we considered future prospects and the potential for continued collaboration between science and religion. By focusing on areas of agreement and conflict resolution, we outlined how these fields can work together to address global challenges, promote ethical innovation, and foster a more harmonious understanding of the world. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. Don't forget to check out the rest of our videos, where we delve deeper into various aspects of science, religion, and their intersections. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to bringing you more thought-provoking discussions.